LyLy chính thức tái xuất tại sân khấu Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 chứng minh đẳng cấp toàn năng. Sau lần đầu chạm ngõ điện ảnh trong bộ phim Thỏ ơi của đạo diễn Trấn Thành, LyLy đã có màn thể hiện gây bất ngờ khi vào vai Hải Linh, nữ hot talk show với biệt danh chị bờ vai. Nhân vật của cô không chỉ dẫn dắt những câu chuyện tình yêu, hôn nhân đầy tranh cãi, mà còn vướng vào tình huống kịch tính khi nghi ngờ người chồng của mình có liên quan đến câu chuyện ngoại tình được hé lộ ngay trên sóng. Bộ phim nhanh chóng cán mốc doanh thu hơn 444 tỷ đồng, góp phần đưa tên tuổi LyLy thăng hạng mạnh mẽ. Không dừng lại ở âm nhạc, LyLy chứng minh khả năng diễn xuất tiềm năng khi thể hiện trọn vẹn một nhân vật có chiều sâu tâm lý, đồng thời thẳng thắn chia sẻ về áp lực và những thử thách khi lần đầu thử sức với các phân đoạn khó. Sự trở lại lần này của LyLy tại Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 càng khiến khán giả mong đợi. Sự kiện sẽ diễn ra tại Vạn Phúc City, thành phố Hồ Chí Minh vào ngày 28 đến ngày 29 tháng 3, đánh dấu lần đầu lễ hội thời trang, âm nhạc đình đám từ Nhật Bản đặt chân đến Việt Nam. Đêm concert được xem là trái tim của sự kiện với sự góp mặt của dàn nghệ sĩ quốc tế như One OS và Mizuna, bên cạnh nhiều tên tuổi V-pop nổi bật. Trước đó, LyLy vốn đã là một singer-songwriter được yêu thích với loạt hit đình đám như 24h, đạt hơn 185 triệu lượt xem, cùng nhiều sáng tác làm mưa làm gió cho các nghệ sĩ như Anh Nhà Ở Đâu Thế, Đen Đá Không Đường Hay Không Sao Mà, Em Đây Rồi. Cô cũng gây chú ý khi tham gia chương trình Em Xinh Say Hi, nơi nhiều tiết mục có sự góp mặt của cô đạt hàng triệu lượt xem. Với hành trình từ hitmaker đến diễn viên điện ảnh và giờ là sự trở lại đầy hứa hẹn trên sân khấu quốc tế, LyLy đang từng bước khẳng định vị thế của một nghệ sĩ đa năng, sẵn sàng bùng nổ trong năm 2026. Gác lại hào quang màn ảnh, LyLy chính thức tái xuất tại sân khấu Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 chứng minh đẳng cấp toàn năng. Sau lần đầu chạm ngõ điện ảnh trong bộ phim Thỏ ơi của đạo diễn Trấn Thành, LyLy đã có màn thể hiện gây bất ngờ khi vào vai Hải Linh, nữ hot talk show với biệt danh chị bờ vai. Nhân vật của cô không chỉ dẫn dắt những câu chuyện tình yêu, hôn nhân đầy tranh cãi, mà còn vướng vào tình huống kịch tính khi nghi ngờ người chồng của mình có liên quan đến câu chuyện ngoại tình được hé lộ ngay trên sóng. Bộ phim nhanh chóng cán mốc doanh thu hơn 444 tỷ đồng, góp phần đưa tên tuổi LyLy thăng hạng mạnh mẽ. Không dừng lại ở âm nhạc, LyLy chứng minh khả năng diễn xuất tiềm năng khi thể hiện trọn vẹn một nhân vật có chiều sâu tâm lý, đồng thời thẳng thắn chia sẻ về áp lực và những thử thách khi lần đầu thử sức với các phân đoạn khó. Sự trở lại lần này của LyLy tại Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 càng khiến khán giả mong đợi. Sự kiện sẽ diễn ra tại Vạn Phúc City, thành phố Hồ Chí Minh vào ngày 28 đến ngày 29 tháng 3, đánh dấu lần đầu lễ hội thời trang, âm nhạc đình đám từ Nhật Bản đặt chân đến Việt Nam. Đêm concert được xem là trái tim của sự kiện với sự góp mặt của dàn nghệ sĩ quốc tế như One OS và Mizuna, bên cạnh nhiều tên tuổi V-pop nổi bật. Trước đó, LyLy vốn đã là một singer-songwriter được yêu thích với loạt hit đình đám như 24h, đạt hơn 185 triệu lượt xem, cùng nhiều sáng tác làm mưa làm gió cho các nghệ sĩ như Anh Nhà Ở Đâu Thế, Đen Đá Không Đường Hay Không Sao Mà, Em Đây Rồi. Cô cũng gây chú ý khi tham gia chương trình Em Xinh Say Hi, nơi nhiều tiết mục có sự góp mặt của cô đạt hàng triệu lượt xem. Với hành trình từ hitmaker đến diễn viên điện ảnh và giờ là sự trở lại đầy hứa hẹn trên sân khấu quốc tế, LyLy đang từng bước khẳng định vị thế của một nghệ sĩ đa năng, sẵn sàng bùng nổ trong năm 2026. Gác lại hào quang màn ảnh, LyLy chính thức tái xuất tại sân khấu Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 chứng minh đẳng cấp toàn năng. Sau lần đầu chạm ngõ điện ảnh trong bộ phim Thỏ ơi của đạo diễn Trấn Thành, LyLy đã có màn thể hiện gây bất ngờ khi vào vai Hải Linh, nữ hot talk show với biệt danh chị bờ vai. Nhân vật của cô không chỉ dẫn dắt những câu chuyện tình yêu, hôn nhân đầy tranh cãi, mà còn vướng vào tình huống kịch tính khi nghi ngờ người chồng của mình có liên quan đến câu chuyện ngoại tình được hé lộ ngay trên sóng. Bộ phim nhanh chóng cán mốc doanh thu hơn 444 tỷ đồng, góp phần đưa tên tuổi LyLy thăng hạng mạnh mẽ. Không dừng lại ở âm nhạc, LyLy chứng minh khả năng diễn xuất tiềm năng khi thể hiện trọn vẹn một nhân vật có chiều sâu tâm lý, đồng thời thẳng thắn chia sẻ về áp lực và những thử thách khi lần đầu thử sức với các phân đoạn khó. Sự trở lại lần này của LyLy tại Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 càng khiến khán giả mong đợi. Sự kiện sẽ diễn ra tại Vạn Phúc City, thành phố Hồ Chí Minh vào ngày 28 đến ngày 29 tháng 3, đánh dấu lần đầu lễ hội thời trang, âm nhạc đình đám từ Nhật Bản đặt chân đến Việt Nam. Đêm concert được xem là trái tim của sự kiện với sự góp mặt của dàn nghệ sĩ quốc tế như One OS và Mizuna, bên cạnh nhiều tên tuổi V-pop nổi bật. Trước đó, LyLy vốn đã là một singer-songwriter được yêu thích với loạt hit đình đám như 24h, đạt hơn 185 triệu lượt xem, cùng nhiều sáng tác làm mưa làm gió cho các nghệ sĩ như Anh Nhà Ở Đâu Thế, Đen Đá Không Đường Hay Không Sao Mà, Em Đây Rồi. Cô cũng gây chú ý khi tham gia chương trình Em Xinh Say Hi, nơi nhiều tiết mục có sự góp mặt của cô đạt hàng triệu lượt xem. Với hành trình từ hitmaker đến diễn viên điện ảnh và giờ là sự trở lại đầy hứa hẹn trên sân khấu quốc tế, LyLy đang từng bước khẳng định vị thế của một nghệ sĩ đa năng, sẵn sàng bùng nổ trong năm 2026. Gác lại hào quang màn ảnh, LyLy chính thức tái xuất tại sân khấu Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 chứng minh đẳng cấp toàn năng. Sau lần đầu chạm ngõ điện ảnh trong bộ phim Thỏ ơi của đạo diễn Trấn Thành, LyLy đã có màn thể hiện gây bất ngờ khi vào vai Hải Linh, nữ hot talk show với biệt danh chị bờ vai. Nhân vật của cô không chỉ dẫn dắt những câu chuyện tình yêu, hôn nhân đầy tranh cãi, mà còn vướng vào tình huống kịch tính khi nghi ngờ người chồng của mình có liên quan đến câu chuyện ngoại tình được hé lộ ngay trên sóng. Bộ phim nhanh chóng cán mốc doanh thu hơn 444 tỷ đồng, góp phần đưa tên tuổi LyLy thăng hạng mạnh mẽ. Không dừng lại ở âm nhạc, LyLy chứng minh khả năng diễn xuất tiềm năng khi thể hiện trọn vẹn một nhân vật có chiều sâu tâm lý, đồng thời thẳng thắn chia sẻ về áp lực và những thử thách khi lần đầu thử sức với các phân đoạn khó. Sự trở lại lần này của LyLy tại Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 càng khiến khán giả mong đợi. Sự kiện sẽ diễn ra tại Vạn Phúc City, thành phố Hồ Chí Minh vào ngày 28 đến ngày 29 tháng 3, đánh dấu lần đầu lễ hội thời trang, âm nhạc đình đám từ Nhật Bản đặt chân đến Việt Nam. Đêm concert được xem là trái tim của sự kiện với sự góp mặt của dàn nghệ sĩ quốc tế như One OS và Mizuna, bên cạnh nhiều tên tuổi V-pop nổi bật. Trước đó, LyLy vốn đã là một singer-songwriter được yêu thích với loạt hit đình đám như 24h, đạt hơn 185 triệu lượt xem, cùng nhiều sáng tác làm mưa làm gió cho các nghệ sĩ như Anh Nhà Ở Đâu Thế, Đen Đá Không Đường Hay Không Sao Mà, Em Đây Rồi. Cô cũng gây chú ý khi tham gia chương trình Em Xinh Say Hi, nơi nhiều tiết mục có sự góp mặt của cô đạt hàng triệu lượt xem. Với hành trình từ hitmaker đến diễn viên điện ảnh và giờ là sự trở lại đầy hứa hẹn trên sân khấu quốc tế, LyLy đang từng bước khẳng định vị thế của một nghệ sĩ đa năng, sẵn sàng bùng nổ trong năm 2026. Gác lại hào quang màn ảnh, LyLy chính thức tái xuất tại sân khấu Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 chứng minh đẳng cấp toàn năng. Sau lần đầu chạm ngõ điện ảnh trong bộ phim Thỏ Ơi của đạo diễn Trấn Thành, LyLy đã có màn thể hiện gây bất ngờ khi vào vai Hải Linh, nữ host talk show với biệt danh chị bờ vai. Nhân vật của cô không chỉ dẫn dắt những câu chuyện tình yêu, hôn nhân đầy tranh cãi, mà còn vướng vào tình huống kịch tính khi nghi ngờ người chồng của mình có liên quan đến câu chuyện ngoại tình được hé lộ ngay trên sóng. Bộ phim nhanh chóng cán mốc doanh thu hơn 444 tỷ đồng, góp phần đưa tên tuổi LyLy thăng hạng mạnh mẽ. Không dừng lại ở âm nhạc, LyLy chứng minh khả năng diễn xuất tiềm năng khi thể hiện trọn vẹn một nhân vật có chiều sâu tâm lý, đồng thời thẳng thắn chia sẻ về áp lực và những thử thách khi lần đầu thử sức với các phân đoạn khó. Sự trở lại lần này của LyLy tại Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 càng khiến khán giả mong đợi. Sự kiện sẽ diễn ra tại Vạn Phúc City, thành phố Hồ Chí Minh vào ngày 28 đến ngày 29 tháng 3, đánh dấu lần đầu lễ hội thời trang, âm nhạc đình đám từ Nhật Bản đặt chân đến Việt Nam. Đêm concert được xem là trái tim của sự kiện với sự góp mặt của dàn nghệ sĩ quốc tế như One OS và Mizuna, bên cạnh nhiều tên tuổi V-pop nổi bật. Trước đó, LyLy vốn đã là một singer-songwriter được yêu thích với loạt hit đình đám như 24h, đạt hơn 185 triệu lượt xem, cùng nhiều sáng tác làm mưa làm gió cho các nghệ sĩ như Anh Nhà Ở Đâu Thế, Đen Đá Không Đường Hay Không Sao Mà, Em Đây Rồi. Cô cũng gây chú ý khi tham gia chương trình Em Xinh Say Hi, nơi nhiều tiết mục có sự góp mặt của cô đạt hàng triệu lượt xem. Với hành trình từ hitmaker đến diễn viên điện ảnh và giờ là sự trở lại đầy hứa hẹn trên sân khấu quốc tế, LyLy đang từng bước khẳng định vị thế của một nghệ sĩ đa năng, sẵn sàng bùng nổ trong năm 2026. Gác lại hào quang màn ảnh, LyLy chính thức tái xuất tại sân khấu Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 chứng minh đẳng cấp toàn năng. Sau lần đầu chạm ngõ điện ảnh trong bộ phim Thỏ Ơi của đạo diễn Trấn Thành, LyLy đã có màn thể hiện gây bất ngờ khi vào vai Hải Linh, nữ host talk show với biệt danh chị bờ vai. Nhân vật của cô không chỉ dẫn dắt những câu chuyện tình yêu, hôn nhân đầy tranh cãi, mà còn vướng vào tình huống kịch tính khi nghi ngờ người chồng của mình có liên quan đến câu chuyện ngoại tình được hé lộ ngay trên sóng. Bộ phim nhanh chóng cán mốc doanh thu hơn 444 tỷ đồng, góp phần đưa tên tuổi LyLy thăng hạng mạnh mẽ. Không dừng lại ở âm nhạc, LyLy chứng minh khả năng diễn xuất tiềm năng khi thể hiện trọn vẹn một nhân vật có chiều sâu tâm lý, đồng thời thẳng thắn chia sẻ về áp lực và những thử thách khi lần đầu thử sức với các phân đoạn khó. Sự trở lại lần này của LyLy tại Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 càng khiến khán giả mong đợi. Sự kiện sẽ diễn ra tại Vạn Phúc City, thành phố Hồ Chí Minh vào ngày 28 đến ngày 29 tháng 3, đánh dấu lần đầu lễ hội thời trang, âm nhạc đình đám từ Nhật Bản đặt chân đến Việt Nam. Đêm concert được xem là trái tim của sự kiện với sự góp mặt của dàn nghệ sĩ quốc tế như One OS và Mizuna, bên cạnh nhiều tên tuổi V-pop nổi bật. Trước đó, LyLy vốn đã là một singer-songwriter được yêu thích với loạt hit đình đám như 24h, đạt hơn 185 triệu lượt xem, cùng nhiều sáng tác làm mưa làm gió cho các nghệ sĩ như Anh Nhà Ở Đâu Thế, Đen Đá Không Đường Hay Không Sao Mà, Em Đây Rồi. Cô cũng gây chú ý khi tham gia chương trình Em Xinh Say Hi, nơi nhiều tiết mục có sự góp mặt của cô đạt hàng triệu lượt xem. Với hành trình từ hitmaker đến diễn viên điện ảnh và giờ là sự trở lại đầy hứa hẹn trên sân khấu quốc tế, LyLy đang từng bước khẳng định vị thế của một nghệ sĩ đa năng, sẵn sàng bùng nổ trong năm 2026. Gác lại hào quang màn ảnh, LyLy chính thức tái xuất tại sân khấu Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 chứng minh đẳng cấp toàn năng. Sau lần đầu chạm ngõ điện ảnh trong bộ phim Thỏ Ơi của đạo diễn Trấn Thành, LyLy đã có màn thể hiện gây bất ngờ khi vào vai Hải Linh, nữ host talk show với biệt danh chị bờ vai. Nhân vật của cô không chỉ dẫn dắt những câu chuyện tình yêu, hôn nhân đầy tranh cãi, mà còn vướng vào tình huống kịch tính khi nghi ngờ người chồng của mình có liên quan đến câu chuyện ngoại tình được hé lộ ngay trên sóng. Bộ phim nhanh chóng cán mốc doanh thu hơn 444 tỷ đồng, góp phần đưa tên tuổi LyLy thăng hạng mạnh mẽ. Không dừng lại ở âm nhạc, LyLy chứng minh khả năng diễn xuất tiềm năng khi thể hiện trọn vẹn một nhân vật có chiều sâu tâm lý, đồng thời thẳng thắn chia sẻ về áp lực và những thử thách khi lần đầu thử sức với các phân đoạn khó. Sự trở lại lần này của LyLy tại Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 càng khiến khán giả mong đợi. Sự kiện sẽ diễn ra tại Vạn Phúc City, thành phố Hồ Chí Minh vào ngày 28 đến ngày 29 tháng 3, đánh dấu lần đầu lễ hội thời trang, âm nhạc đình đám từ Nhật Bản đặt chân đến Việt Nam. Đêm concert được xem là trái tim của sự kiện với sự góp mặt của dàn nghệ sĩ quốc tế như One OS và Mizuna, bên cạnh nhiều tên tuổi V-pop nổi bật. Trước đó, LyLy vốn đã là một singer-songwriter được yêu thích với loạt hit đình đám như 24h, đạt hơn 185 triệu lượt xem, cùng nhiều sáng tác làm mưa làm gió cho các nghệ sĩ như Anh Nhà Ở Đâu Thế, Đen Đá Không Đường Hay Không Sao Mà, Em Đây Rồi. Cô cũng gây chú ý khi tham gia chương trình Em Xinh Say Hi, nơi nhiều tiết mục có sự góp mặt của cô đạt hàng triệu lượt xem. Với hành trình từ hitmaker đến diễn viên điện ảnh và giờ là sự trở lại đầy hứa hẹn trên sân khấu quốc tế, LyLy đang từng bước khẳng định vị thế của một nghệ sĩ đa năng, sẵn sàng bùng nổ trong năm 2026. Gác lại hào quang màn ảnh, LyLy chính thức tái xuất tại sân khấu Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 chứng minh đẳng cấp toàn năng. Sau lần đầu chạm ngõ điện ảnh trong bộ phim Thỏ ơi của đạo diễn Trấn Thành, LyLy đã có màn thể hiện gây bất ngờ khi vào vai Hải Linh, nữ host talk show với biệt danh chị bờ vai. Nhân vật của cô không chỉ dẫn dắt những câu chuyện tình yêu, hôn nhân đầy tranh cãi, mà còn vướng vào tình huống kịch tính khi nghi ngờ người chồng của mình có liên quan đến câu chuyện ngoại tình được hé lộ ngay trên sóng. Bộ phim nhanh chóng cán mốc doanh thu hơn 444 tỷ đồng, góp phần đưa tên tuổi LyLy thăng hạng mạnh mẽ. Không dừng lại ở âm nhạc, LyLy chứng minh khả năng diễn xuất tiềm năng khi thể hiện trọn vẹn một nhân vật có chiều sâu tâm lý, đồng thời thẳng thắn chia sẻ về áp lực và những thử thách khi lần đầu thử sức với các phân đoạn khó. Sự trở lại lần này của LyLy tại Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 càng khiến khán giả mong đợi. Sự kiện sẽ diễn ra tại Vạn Phúc City, thành phố Hồ Chí Minh vào ngày 28 đến ngày 29 tháng 3, đánh dấu lần đầu lễ hội thời trang, âm nhạc đình đám từ Nhật Bản đặt chân đến Việt Nam. Đêm concert được xem là trái tim của sự kiện với sự góp mặt của dàn nghệ sĩ quốc tế như One OS và Mizuna, bên cạnh nhiều tên tuổi V-pop nổi bật. Trước đó, LyLy vốn đã là một singer-songwriter được yêu thích với loạt hit đình đám như 24h, đạt hơn 185 triệu lượt xem, cùng nhiều sáng tác làm mưa làm gió cho các nghệ sĩ như Anh Nhà Ở Đâu Thế, Đen Đá Không Đường Hay Không Sao Mà, Em Đây Rồi. Cô cũng gây chú ý khi tham gia chương trình Em Xinh Say Hi, nơi nhiều tiết mục có sự góp mặt của cô đạt hàng triệu lượt xem. Với hành trình từ hitmaker đến diễn viên điện ảnh và giờ là sự trở lại đầy hứa hẹn trên sân khấu quốc tế, LyLy đang từng bước khẳng định vị thế của một nghệ sĩ đa năng, sẵn sàng bùng nổ trong năm 2026. Gác lại hào quang màn ảnh, LyLy chính thức tái xuất tại sân khấu Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 chứng minh đẳng cấp toàn năng. Sau lần đầu chạm ngõ điện ảnh trong bộ phim Thỏ ơi của đạo diễn Trấn Thành, LyLy đã có màn thể hiện gây bất ngờ khi vào vai Hải Linh, nữ host talk show với biệt danh chị bờ vai. Nhân vật của cô không chỉ dẫn dắt những câu chuyện tình yêu, hôn nhân đầy tranh cãi, mà còn vướng vào tình huống kịch tính khi nghi ngờ người chồng của mình có liên quan đến câu chuyện ngoại tình được hé lộ ngay trên sóng. Bộ phim nhanh chóng cán mốc doanh thu hơn 444 tỷ đồng, góp phần đưa tên tuổi LyLy thăng hạng mạnh mẽ. Không dừng lại ở âm nhạc, LyLy chứng minh khả năng diễn xuất tiềm năng khi thể hiện trọn vẹn một nhân vật có chiều sâu tâm lý, đồng thời thẳng thắn chia sẻ về áp lực và những thử thách khi lần đầu thử sức với các phân đoạn khó. Sự trở lại lần này của LyLy tại Tokyo Girls Collection Việt Nam 2026 càng khiến khán giả mong đợi. Sự kiện sẽ diễn ra tại Vạn Phúc City, thành phố Hồ Chí Minh vào ngày 28 đến ngày 29 tháng 3, đánh dấu lần đầu lễ hội thời trang, âm nhạc đình đám từ Nhật Bản đặt chân đến Việt Nam. Đêm concert được xem là trái tim của sự kiện với sự góp mặt của dàn nghệ sĩ quốc tế như One OS và Mizuna, bên cạnh nhiều tên tuổi V-pop nổi bật. Trước đó, LyLy vốn đã là một singer-songwriter được yêu thích với loạt hit đình đám như 24h, đạt hơn 185 triệu lượt xem, cùng nhiều sáng tác làm mưa làm gió cho các nghệ sĩ như Anh Nhà Ở Đâu Thế.
Two aboard, two outs for Gavin Grahovac. Got a call strike on the outside corner. The crowd feeding off the prompt earlier, the conversation between Jason Vincent and Mike Early, they kind of groan at any strike at this point. High and in, 1-1. Grahovac ripped a single opposite field his first time up. And then in the second inning, he popped up. 1 for 2. He's got 2 hits this weekend. A couple of singles. Good block behind home plate by Corbin Reynolds. Grahovac in the 3 games prior to this weekend totaled up 5 homers. 2 on Saturday against Mizzou, 2 on Sunday against Mizzou, and then 1 more on Tuesday against Sam Houston. Then the single last night, a single here today. They'd love for...
What a play that was. Just a lot going on there. Grahovac 104 off the bat, 1 hopper right off of Neto to Tommy Gooden at first, and Gooden, who had Grahovac running right at him, alligator arms that catch, and I think the air there is on Gooden. I don't know who they're going to give it to. But thought that was going to be a single up the middle. Then Neto sets his feet, does everything right, and they can't come up with the play. The Aggies extend that lead, but still 2 on, second and third with 2 outs. And Sorrell up. How about this, though? Everyone on right now via walk or an error for the Aggies, and you got the plate, you got the table set for Caden Sorrell, and no hits this inning.
They want to check on Neto after that sharply hit ball that struck him and then created the error. It was Jorian Wilson who scored. Kellner's on third. Grahovec on second for Caden Sorrell, who already has 49 RBI.
Real hard single on you very often. If he gets his pitch and you make the mistake, there's damage to be done. And you got a base open here. I don't really know why you challenge him here. I'm thinking of this scenario. You got a base open, and you got Hakopian on deck, who really hasn't done much all weekend, and you'd have a right-on-right matchup. So I think Vanderbilt may not be approaching this the right way, but time will tell.
Gave him something to swing at, too. I thought, I'm with you, first base is open. Even if you're going to pitch to him, you just don't really throw him anything.
Yeah, I mean, what are you thinking here? There's got to be something. What's the line?
Now, he did strike out Sorrell earlier and then get him to bounce out.
He hasn't done anything off of Neto, 100%.
So,
but I still don't love it. I
think I'm with you.
Just you got right on red on deck and a guy who hadn't hit a ball hard this series.
And Hakopian has struggled more with the right-handed pitching. That's pretty common for a right-handed hitter, but Hakopian has built a big average against lefties.
I'd throw 2 more of those, 3 more of those, see if you get Sorrell to wave and get soft contact. But you try and set him up with off-speed to sneak a fastball by him. That's a mistake. And then you hang one. That's also a mistake. So you got to throw him at the bottom of the strike zone. I expect sliders at the bottom of the strike zone.
My goodness, that was bounced in off of Reynolds, and it almost went out to the third baseman, Brody Johnston.
Spikes it. You could have run right by that ball. He could have run just right by it, but it's tough when it's coming right at you. It's almost too easy. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, on the 3-1.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Get
they
back
won't
in
throw
the
another
count?
pitch. Yeah. What are you going to throw, strikes?
Yeah.
See what he's done with strikes. So.
But also, you run the risk of bouncing another one, just like he did. If you're scared of throwing a strike, you're going to give a free pass if you spike a fastball or off speed again, I mean.
So bases loaded for Chris Hakopian. Hakopian's 0 for 4 in this series. He has walked twice, once last night. As we said, Hakopian's been fine against SEC pitching, but he's done the damage mostly against left-handers in conference.
Still no hits this inning for the Aggies. They scored a run and loaded the bases.
It's basically 3 walks and an error. The error at the moment still being charged to Neto on the throw, although it did glance off the glove of his first baseman, Tommy Gooden. That will end the inning. The Aggies will strand them loaded, but they do get one. 4-2 A&M.
Hockey is here. The Spinorama's here. Intensity coming in hot. Here. Wild turns, clappers, and Saturday snipers. All here. All the excitement hitting us live here. Old school and new school in multi-view right here. The final playoff push and the Stanley Cup final. Oh, it's here, baby, on ESPN.
I prefer to keep my presence a shadow. To those who have betrayed me, die well.
This game, he had 4 hits last night, and 3 of them were bombed.
Just damage was done every time he came to the plate. So we're gonna have our eye on him the rest of this series, no doubt, just with where this wind is and what a well-struck elevated ball does. He's kind of getting back into the swing of things too. I mean, you take 15 plus games off, which is what he has missed with, I believe, injury this season. You just haven't seen pitching that much. So I think he's probably excited to get back into his comfort zone and timing up pitchers, and the Aggies may be getting the brunt into that as he starts to get comfortable at the plate this series.
Weston Moss, he's taking the Aggies through 4.
Just got yourself a run to extend that 1-run lead to 2. If you're Texas A&M, Weston Moss got to be thinking one thing, and that's find a way to go get that first out, get out of this inning without allowing anything, and climbs back in the count there. But just on the opposite end, Vanderbilt, are you going to punch back? Are you going to let all the momentum stay here in this ballpark with the Aggies? And that's what we saw a ton of yesterday. He's just back and forth, back and forth.
On a 3-1, gets Barcy to pop up, and Chris Hakopian is under it.
Yeah, that's one Barcy's going to want back. He has a 3-0 count, takes one down the middle, and then misses one right there. Nothing more frustrating as a hitter than when you get to a 3-0, 2-0 count, all the advantages are on your side, and then you either take a bad swing or go after a poor pitch, and you feel like you let a pitcher off the hook.
Good.
He fell behind Barcy, got him to pop up. He's fallen behind Brody Johnston too. Comes back to pump him a strike.
Velocity still there for Moss. If he's ever below 91 or 90.
Drilled.
Let's see where he hits this on the barrel. I don't know. It looked like he got all of that, but it was only 9. It went off the scoreboard, and that'll be all for Weston Moss's outing on this Friday afternoon.
He shows some of that emotion, and he's certainly showing it as he leaves and gives way to Gavin Lyons.
Well, with Charles Tyrrett.
Strength that responds. Refinement you can feel. And tech that anticipates. Welcome to the Genesis GV70. Get the GV70 for 2.99% APR for 60 months. Exclusively at your tri-state Genesis retailers.
I'm gonna go to Disney World.
Boy, I'd love to go to the Super Bowl one day. Maybe we can.
I'm ready. Me too.
Sir, I've chartered a flight path to the Super Bowl. This is the way.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
We gotta move.
Be on your best behavior.
One big happy family.
I'm going too.
Everybody got their ticket?
See you in 2027.
Went just 4 1/3. Offensively, take a lead here. As you can see, 4 1/3 there. 85 pitches. Just 3 earned, only 4 Ks. A little different than Shane Sadeo's outing yesterday, almost the polar opposite. But Gavin Lyons coming out of the pen, first out of the pen as he was yesterday. Sophomore from Connecticut. Right-hander going to be a low 3/4 slot. Fastball will be 88, 92. But yesterday, Gavin Lyons came out of that pen. He saw 4 batters. He gave up 4 hits, and that was all for him. So Coach Early going back to Lyons immediately for his 14th appearance. Probably for a redemption opportunity. I think that's probably the best thing you can do for a reliever in that situation is get him right back out there and not let him stew on a poor outing for too long. But Vanderbilt on the other side of things saying, well, we will gladly see Gavin Lyons come out of the pen based off of how we saw him yesterday and early on.
Tommy Gooden immediately singles.
Yeah, Tommy Gooden says, welcome back, Gavin Lyons. I think Gooden got him yesterday, too.
Yeah, Gooden singled off of him yesterday. Does so again here today. Braden Holcomb now. Holcomb did not face Gavin Lyons yesterday.
So Gavin Lyons gonna, you see that lower arm slot? Kind of released at his, I don't know, call it 2 o'clock. But that's gonna give him some arm side run, which will run into a batter like Braden Holcomb from the right side. But it also will, he'll have a fastball that will sink. So ground balls, right? A day where fly balls kill you, go to your ground ball pitcher. That still means you got to get the ball to the bottom of the strike zone. So it's almost like a 2-seam that's going to work down and in to a right-hander and down and away to a left-hander. And the goal here is to get to the bottom of the hitter's barrel, getting ground balls, creating opportunity for double plays and outs that way, as opposed to airing the ball out up in this jet stream wind and allowing cheap home runs. Not that there have been a ton of cheap home runs this series, but there have certainly been some that were not hit all that well that are easily getting out of Bluebell Park. So I believe that's why Gavin Lyons is coming out of the pen in this situation.
He's got Holcomb 2-2. Yesterday, Vanderbilt out-hit A&M 18-8. Commodores have out-hit the Aggies today 7-2. Some more groans from the Bluebell Park crowd.
See what we think here. It's close. I don't know.
I'm a proponent of with 2 strikes, you got to swing when one's that close.
Yeah. Partita again.
Backed him up behind the bag, throw in the dirt, and I think is a great pick by Grahovac, but I think it took him off the bag.
Man, Holcomb can really move, I'll tell you that. I didn't think it was going to be that close or that he was actually going to be safe out of the box. But Partita, he does it again. He goes in for that to go get the ball, takes a drop step. And for an arm, Partita, who off the mound can throw 95, 97, 98 miles an hour, He needed every bit of that arm strength for that throw, and he didn't have it.
And Holcomb may have just beaten the throw. I don't think it took Grahovac off the bag.
Certainly not. No. Holcomb was there. But just based off of how this series has gone so far, like I could see the exact drills that Nico Partita at third base needs to be doing. And it's not that he doesn't have a very talented glove. It's that he continues to put himself in a difficult situation to make the play.
Copian only play at first base. That puts 2 Commodores in scoring position.
So how about this? Gavin Lyons comes in to do one thing, and that's get ground balls, and he's done it. He did it right there and allowed Holcomb on. He did it again right there, and he goes and gets Johnstone, but still unable to get a lead runner, unable to get the out the first time, unable to turn 2 any of the times. So frustrating, especially when you're a pitcher doing exactly what you're called on to do. And he does it again right there.
Hakopian gets Rigdon. Lyons comes in and strands a couple of Commodores in scoring position and keeps A&M up a run as we are halfway home in this first game on Friday.
All across America.
Good morning. Good morning.
Wherever we are, it feels like home.
Man, it's good to be home.
GMA, it's an invitation to come together and brighten your morning.
Hockey is here. The Spinorama's here. Intensity coming in hot. Here. Wild turns, clappers, and Saturday snipers. All here. All the excitement hitting us live here. Old school and new school in multi-view right here. The final playoff push and the Stanley Cup final. Oh, it's here, baby, on ESPN.
You know when you're locked in, focused and fearless. Your vision narrows. Every did you see that moment? From beyond the logo! All of it right here. Lock in. The W.
First for the Aggies, mostly off the big swing from Nico Partita, 2-run jack. You saw Brody Johnson solo shot, the third one of the game for the Commodores. Aggies still up 1, but Wyatt Neto still out there. 4 innings, 3 runs. Weston Moss, his night is over. Both starters. Solid outings for them. Neto's still out there. The stuff has been good from Neto, really has. Just he's issued free passes like you think he would.
Yeah, it's just 2 hits for the Aggies.
Yeah.
And they both came in the first inning.
A lot of soft contact. That was the name of the game yesterday too. Actually, despite the 5 home runs, you think I'm crazy. They had 5 bombs, but there was a lot of soft contact when the bombs weren't coming. So there weren't doubles hit around the yard or ringing singles in an inning. It was just kind of a feast or famine deal. When you're able to do that, and the Aggies on the other hand being out hit like crazy versus the Commodores, so it seems like a lot of their swings, the Commodore swings, are coming off the barrel a little harder.
Vandy has out-hit A&M for the weekend in a game and a half now, 26-10. Jake Dewar, for the second time today, draws a walk. Leadoff hitter on for A&M for the 3rd time in this game. Grahovac singled in the first. They would score him. Hakopian walked in the 3rd. He was erased due to a double play. And now you get Dewar on in the 5th for Nico Partita. Nico Partita before the series was given a pretty nice accolade. Perfect game named him their mid-season National Freshman of the Year. That's how good he's been to start his college career. And if you watch A&M, if you follow the Aggies, throughout any game, you're going to hear talented, true freshmen, because there are 3 of them in the lineup today. Nico Partita, Jorian Wilson, and Boston Kellner. Partita's from Manville, Texas, went to Pearland High School just south of Houston.
Well, that is becoming more and more rare in today's college baseball and college athletics realm, is seeing freshmen have a major impact right away just because of the transfer portal, just because of the ability of NIL and the transfer portal combined. You can go get a seasoned veteran, and oftentimes a fourth-year senior is going to be more capable than the freshman right out of high school. So for Texas A&M, a top 25 baseball team, to have 3 talented freshmen in this lineup certainly gives you excitement if you're an Aggie in the future of this baseball team. But from a fan standpoint, from my perspective, playing a decade ago, it is strange that how rare that really is, and a 3-1 chase there by Partita.
Yeah, swung at ball 4.
And that may have been the last pitch of Wyatt Neto's night there if Partita lays off of it.
That is Neto's 8th walk.
And that'll kill you. Like, it really will. And that's the frustrating thing, is that Texas A&M has hit really 2 or 3 balls hard all day. And they're up 1 with 4 runs, and they only got 2 hits. So you can't be issuing free passes. Eventually it's going to come catch you because you're 1 swing of the bat away from a crooked number. And despite the effectiveness in missing barrels and getting soft contact from Wyatt Neto, it's at some point you got to go to an arm that's going to throw the ball over the plate.
Out there right now for the Commodores is Jacob Schultz. So 2 walks to start this inning to Dewar and Partita. Here's Blake Benderup. Neto has struck out Benderup twice.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to leave him in, you leave him in versus Benderup, who hasn't put the ball in play. Man, I just wonder what the plan is. I think that's the first thing that my mind goes to, is when there's a pitch taken or swung through or whatever the case is what's the plan here? Doesn't always have to make sense to us, but eventually I think Benderup's got to have seen 4 or 5 fastballs kind of middle this game and hasn't put one in play. So I think the plan is you commit to that until something else happens. Oh, it got stuck in the chest protector. Oh. Take a look at this. Goes to block it. Reynolds does, and then... Oh, not in the chest protector, under the mask. A little safer. If it goes in the chest protector and you can't get it out, runners can just take off. Oh, that was out. from our perspective, you were right above home plate, just a hair out. We'll say Bender up being 6'6". You probably feel like as an umpire, you think he can reach everything, so a little easier to expand that plate coverage.
Stays in there at 2-2. One-run game in the bottom of the fifth. The Aggies trying to extend their advantage.
I think if you're Texas A&M, you got to go get a run or two this inning. You just have to. Vanderbilt's bats are out hitting you like crazy. It's a one-run game. You know there's going to be more runs scored, and you got 2 free passes on.
And if you're Bender up, you're trying to obviously work your way aboard and you have a full count, but if you're an out here, the runners have to move as a result of it.
Yeah, most certainly. And Bender
got to be productive in some way.
Yeah, he's not known to hit a backside single either, and there's the force on. So yeah, I think right here you just have to have a solid approach, work the middle of the field, look for fastball, adjust to off speed. That's all it has to be.
The SEC, and they got another one. Brody Johnston to Mike Mancini to Tommy Gooden.
They go with the fastball inside on Bender up, which is a nice pitch. You know, hitters usually are protecting the whole plate. Bender up gets jammed to hair, and easy double play when your third baseman Johnston's moving to his left. Can make a good feed to second base. So the Aggies, who desperately need some insurance here with the gift they were given with runners on, now gonna face a new arm coming out of the bullpen. And that'll be it there for Wyatt Neto, with a nice outing for him, and we're going to see who's coming up on the other side.
Moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms can keep you out of the picture. Now, there's Skyrizi.
I've got places to go and I'm feeling free. Control of my symptoms means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Get back in the picture. Skyrizi is proven to help deliver relief, repair, and remission. Feel significant symptom relief as early as 4 weeks. Skyrizi is proven to help visibly repair damage of the intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year, and help people achieve lasting remission.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or UC.
Ready to get back in the picture with Skyrizi?
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and UC combined.
It's more than love at first sight.
NWSL Sundays on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app.
All across America.
Good morning. Good morning.
Wherever we are, it feels like home.
Man, it's good to be home.
GMA, it's an invitation to come together and brighten your
2/3. He did strike out 6, but also issued too many free passes. He goes 4 1/3. Neto for Vanderbilt will go 4 2/3. So now it's Jacob Schulz on the mound. 11th appearance.
Just 12 innings, though.
Yeah, and there's been some traffic in those 12 innings. Opponent's batting average against him, 265. He's from Houston. And guess what high school, Boomer? Memorial.
I feel bad. I should have known that. In my backyard. Memorial's been spitting out some arms lately. They really have, so. Scholes here, I bet his one task is Jorian Wilson. Obviously, that would end the inning, and you may see him come back out in the 6th, but I think the idea is he's got one job and one job only, and that's to get this man.
Jorian Wilson today, a strikeout swinging and a walk. He walked in the 4th and would come around to score a run. He came home on an error. breaking ball, a nice one over for a strike. It's got him down to the count.
And going to the off speed early. Big breaker, slower, 72, 74. I'll start at Wilson's right shoulder, break into the strike zone or out of the strike zone. And then he tries to sneak one by him there after slowing him down with 74.
And all that Corbin Reynolds has had to deal with in the dirt today.
Yeah, that is a great point.
He is busy.
That is a great point. And I guarantee you he's double digits getting down and blocking balls so far. Well, we've talked about beating the shift. Certainly seems like Aggie opponents have beaten their shift a lot this season, but Jorian Wilson does it right here. Just cues one off the end of his bat. Hit it where they ain't. That's what they say. Was Mike Mancini. And the theme continues. Aggie's just not really barreling up balls and hitting it hard, but finding a way to get runs across.
That's the Aggies' third hit of the game, their first hit since the first inning.
Yeah, but yes, it certainly is a hit and should be registered as a hit, but like that's who won that battle. It was not Wilson, it was Scholes. He did his job and it just worked out for the Aggies because they've put runners on. So I think what I'm looking for is just better swings and hard hit balls. That's what sets you up for opportunity, because winning and scoring this way usually isn't a lasting formula. But they have taken their walks. They have laid off pitches. And Vanderbilt has issued
range. Did you catch number 67, Kylie Edwards, with the
conference? And Luka Doncic's eligibility also up in the air for the All-NBA teams, for the MVP award. So a lot up in the air for the Lakers as they await the MRI results on the left hamstring of Luka Doncic.
Yeah, only a game ahead of Denver. And you did mention he needs one more game to be eligible for those awards. He could file a grievance to see if an arbitrator would reinstate the 2 games that he missed for the birth of his child, if it came down to that. All right, what is the latest also with Steph Curry's return to the Warriors?
Hey, now there's some good news here in the Western Conference somewhere else. I'm told Stephen Curry is expected to be cleared to return to action on Sunday against the Houston Rockets at home. He has missed the last 2+ months. He's missed 27 consecutive games with a persistent knee injury. But I had a source tell me today that all systems are go for Steph Curry. The Warriors, their team doctors, they were fine if Steph Curry wanted to just shut it down this season and move on to the summer and next season. But he was determined to come back here late in the season for the Warriors. This is a team that is night and day with and without him in the lineup. They're 23-16 with him, 13-25 without him. They feel if they get Steph Curry back for the play-in tournament here with 5 games left in the regular season, they have a chance to make it to the playoffs.
Right now in 10th place, they've already clinched a spot in the play-in. I would not want to see them if I was anybody else in the play-in. Always great to see you, Shams. Thank you.
All right, let's head to women's hoops for number 2 on the starting 5. Tonight at 7 Eastern on ESPN, UConn takes on South Carolina in the first Final Four game of the night. It's a rematch of last year's title game that the Huskies won handily. This year's UConn team might be even stronger behind AP Player of the Year Sarah Strong. They have not lost a game. And now let's bring in ESPN basketball analyst and Hall of Famer Muffet McGraw. She's with us now. And Coach, South Carolina clear underdogs to these undefeated UConn Huskies. How can the Gamecocks pull off the upset?
Well, the matchup I'm going to be watching is Joyce Edwards on Sarah Strong. Sarah Strong, the National Player of the Year. No one has been able to shut her down yet this year. So that challenge is going to be on Joyce Edwards. She's quick enough to guard her on the perimeter. She's big enough to guard her on the block. She's versatile, and she can really defend. If they switch the ball screen, she can play the big guy. So I think that's going to be the matchup to watch. But at the same time, South Carolina's going to have to score. Tessa Johnson, their leading three-point shooter, has got to make threes in order for South Carolina to come up and win this game.
And then, of course, they have to contend with AZ Fudd. So, pick your poison there, right? The other semifinal tonight on ESPN. I cannot wait for this. Texas, UCLA. Longhorns handed the Bruins their only loss of the season back in November, holding UCLA star Lauren Betts to just 8 points. Meanwhile, Longhorn standout Rory Harmon had 26 in that game. So here we go. UCLA faces the only team to beat them this year. Coach, how do the Bruins turn the tables and get to the championship game?
Rory Harmon was fabulous in that game, but she is the key to their defense. She makes them go. She brings the full court pressure, and UCLA really didn't handle it well last time. They had 20 turnovers, a season high. So UCLA, number one, take care of the basketball. Number two, you got to make some threes. I'm looking at Gianna Neepkins on the perimeter. How are you going to get 6'7" Lauren Betts the ball if nobody can make a shot from the perimeter? So UCLA is going to have to space the floor, make some shots, open things up inside. But number one, they've got to handle that Texas pressure.
Yeah, man, I love Rory, all-time steals leader and assists leader there. Oh, what a legacy she is leaving. And she told us yesterday she's not done. All right, 6 o'clock right here on ESPN. We'll see you then, Coach. Thank you.
To the men's bracket for number 4 on our starting 5. The first semifinal pits 3-seed Illinois against number 2 UConn. The Fighting Illini actually favored by 1.5 points in this one, and that comes after UConn beat Illinois at MSG in November. But this is a different Illinois team with freshman phenom Keaton Wagler stepping up. And here are the head coaches earlier today on the matchup.
Just the more you watch Illinois from the first time we played them, obviously like every team that's playing in this tournament or is advancing a tournament, much better version of themselves in terms of identity, and just expect a real war. We've been in multiple wars in this tournament, and excited to play tomorrow night.
They've got great balance, and they take 24 three-point attempts a game, and you got to have that balance. And then when it comes down to it, you've got to be tough enough and gritty enough to keep them off the glass.
Arizona and Michigan will face off in the later game tomorrow. That's going to be a big one. Arizona taking care of some business as they announced a 5-year extension with their head coach Tommy Lloyd, but they'll keep their attention on facing Michigan, the slight favorites to reach the title game. Here are both coaches ahead of tomorrow's game.
Well, we have to find a way to keep the ball out of the paint. When they break your defense down, they get to the foul line, they finish in the paint, but also they offensive rebound at such a high clip. And then also their pace. Much like us, typically when you're that big of a team, you don't run the lanes, you don't push in transition like both of us do. So in a lot of ways, it's going to be like practice.
Well, obviously, they have great athletes and great size, and they play at great pace. So when you put those three things together, man, you got to be on your game, because if you make a mistake, the ball's going to be dunked or going to be an open three at the other end. And if you miss a block out, they're probably going to need a putback dunk. If you don't communicate a back screen, it's going to be a lob dunk. So it's just kind of this unrelenting pressure they're able to put on you that you have to be able to adapt to.
Michigan and Arizona have combined for 71 wins, which is tied for the 4th most entering a tournament game all time. But they aren't just winning, they are dominating. Both teams winning by over 17 points per game while securing 13 25-point wins this season, tied for the most in D1.
Okay, Molly, let's go to number 5 on our starting 5. Shohei Ohtani getting his first home run of the season. Going up later.
So it might be happy hour on the East Coast.
So much more than a great insurance company. They're a financial services company, too. Like, he's so much more than Saquon Barkley. He's also Stay Calm Barkley.
insurance and financial services together. Refreshing.
Introducing the Great Clips $12.99 haircut coupon. Because Great Clips gets that March is the best, but that hair is the worst. So get the Great Clips $12.99 haircut coupon and look as tournament ready as you feel.
All right, do you guys want to do a little swap?
I mean, yeah, I could be into it. Just like a one-time casual thing with Tyler, or?
I was talking about switching up teams for fun.
I don't like this game.
Cars are cool. Rental cars are not cool. Cars can come in all shapes and sizes. Rental cars are mid-sized or similar. Cars are all about the details. Rental cars are also about the details. It's cool when you can pick the exact car you want and pick it up exactly where you want, like here, or even way out here, but never here. No one wants to be here. You want to be here. Turo. Rent a car, not a rental car.
I used to think that nothing can stop me. Then I faced bladder cancer and even leaks an opponent I could not run. But I knew I had to stay in the game. So take it from me. Don't be afraid to try the pin guards. It changes everything, but you.
The day has come. Buy Avatar Fire and Dash now only on Digital.
Come on!
Go deeper into the Na'vi world with exclusive bonus features.
This is sick!
Add Avatar Fire and Dash to your movie collection today.
We tried everything to get a great yard.
Doing it ourselves.
Different lawn care companies.
But with True Green, we finally got a golf course quality lawn.
Which attracted golfers.
Morning.
Who needs a warm-up? And because True Green's doing the work, we get to have more fun.
Please don't post that.
Too late.
They don't have grass this thick in Australia.
They're fun to have around.
True Green, the easiest way to get a golf course quality lawn.
Where are we playing next?
Sign up now at truegreen.com.
You're thinking about a lifetime of being her bestie when
Dad, stop. Right here.
Right here?
No, right here.
reality hits. A new phase has arrived. Starting at age 9, ask their doctor about HPV vaccination.
Longer days means more time to show off my spring outfits. A little to the left, Dylan.
You got it, Cole's mom.
Standout looks start at Kohl's. Find styles for the family, plus get 15% off at Kohl's and Kohl's.com.
Get one of these Jimmy John's sandwiches, chips, and a drink for $8.99. Choose Turkey Tom with all-natural turkey or Pepe with smoked ham and provolone. Delicious. The $8.99 meal deal for a limited time at Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good.
Hey, Brian Kenny.
Carl, you see this email? Marketing wants us in on a commercial together.
It must be about how ESPN is now
The home of MLB.TV, all out-of-market games, live or on demand.
And all your favorite sports on ESPN?
All in one place.
You know, it does feel kind of great.
Am I being filmed right now?
Yeah, we are.
My agent's gonna kill me.
ESPN is now the home of MLB.TV. All out-of-market games, live or on demand, all in one place.
Back in the 70s, if you wanted to watch sports, there was not a lot available.
We think we have an idea that's going to change the world.
More sports on the air.
Somebody said you ought to find out about satellite.
Satellite? What do you mean, satellite? And they're maxed out on their credit cards. It's the American dream.
We're going to go on the air at 7 o'clock, come hell or high water.
You guys ready for this?
Welcome, everyone, to the ESPN Sports Center.
When somebody tells you you can't do something, you kind of want to prove them wrong.
Love it. Don't love this, though, if you're a Lakers fan. They failed their litmus test with the defending champs in a big way. 43-point loss to the Thunder, the second worst of LeBron James' entire career. And to make matters much worse, the NBA's leading scorer, Luka Doncic, went down with his second hamstring injury of the season. That's our Take Two.
This was all about the Lakers.
That was an ass kicking last night.
It was over by the time people, finished their first beer.
The Lakers were down at the half by 30. I'm glad the Oklahoma City Thunder did get on the Lakers' behinds like back pocket.
I think we all talked about the holes that the Lakers had.
Their second round exit, that's their ceiling.
The Lakers looked like absolute pretenders.
They came into Oklahoma City waving the white flag.
Now Luka's hurt, complete disaster.
It's a bad situation for the Los Angeles Lakers.
The start of the playoffs at least is in jeopardy for Luka.
I'm still not going to sit up there and summarily dismiss them.
Now the annoying Laker fan base could stay out of my mentions on social media.
Count on it, Big Perk.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't think that's going to happen.
A lot of drama down this final stretch of the regular season in the NBA. And for more on that, we're going to welcome in our analyst, Danny Green. Danny, can the Lakers win a first-round series no matter what, no matter who it's against, if Luka is not out there for them?
That's going to be tough, man. It's going to be a lot of offensive and defensive load reliant on Austin Reeves and LeBron James. Now, LeBron James is proven, but he is 41 years old. It's going to be a lot on him. But Austin Reeves is a guy that I've seen as an X factor, and he can do it. But in the playoffs is one of the things that people question. That's the reason why a lot of teams are like, I don't know if he's worth max dollars right now. So without Luka, he is the head of the snake. I don't see them getting it done. It's going to be hard to get out of that first round without him. With him, I definitely see so. The second round will be very tough. But without him, it's going to be hard to get out of that first round.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the class of the West, the Thunder looked great last night. They're 2 games ahead of the Spurs. The Spurs won again last night without Wemby. But let's go to the bottom because we have an interesting situation developing with the Warriors. Shams Charania told us they're getting Steph Curry back. They sit in 10th. This is a guy who could have sat out this season, but he wants to play down the stretch and see what they can do. Can they get out of the play-in with Steph? How do you see this going?
He's a guy that could have sat out and probably should sit out. I love Steph's competitiveness, and it's a possibility, but this is Milwaukee all over, just in the West side of the West Conference. So I don't see the point in him coming back right now. I don't see Golden State making any real noise. Obviously, he's a great threat, and they're a better team with him, but the West is so stacked. Even if they do make out of play, when they're going home in 4 games against the first round, either OKC Thunder or the San Antonio Spurs. So yeah, I don't see the point in this. And again, Steph is great. I love his competitiveness. Come from an old school, different type of cloth. Yeah. But somebody needs to save him from himself and allow him to rest and sit down.
We're just throwing cold water on all these fan bases. The Lakers, the Warriors, basically everybody out west who's not the Spurs or the Thunder. Mm-hmm. Thanks. Danny, you got to call it like it is. Thanks, Danny.
Thank you.
All right, back to college basketball. 3 of the 4 teams in the Final Four have won a national championship, with Illinois being the lone exception. Michigan has the longest drought among the former champions, last winning in 1989, while Arizona is the last Western-based team to win the title, doing so in 1997. UConn won 2 seasons ago when they went back-to-back, and we head now live out to Indy for a Final Four preview.
National semifinals are set, and big-time teams on this stage in Indianapolis. Illinois and UConn will play in the first game. That'll be followed by Arizona and Michigan. No one seeded lower than a 3 coming into this tournament. All 4 teams spending most of the season in the top 10. Let's start with Illinois and UConn. They played in the regular season. UConn won fairly easily. This is 2 very different teams than what we saw in the regular season.
Yeah, that last game is inconsequential. I think this game's going to come down to UConn. They got to take care of the basketball. The teams that have got up and underneath them have turned them over. That's not exactly Illinois' style. They're more keep you in front, force a contested shot. But offensively, UConn's got to play through Tyrus Reed. He could be the difference maker for Connecticut in this game.
And then I think how Illinois is able to space Tyrus Reed out on the perimeter, maybe get him in trouble and foul trouble is critical. Also, I think for UConn, how do they guard the likes of Keaton Wagler, who's probably the best in the country at attacking matchups. You can't really switch on him, you can't go under because he's a great D-cell, finishes at the rim. But how they guard that matchup with Wagler, I think, can determine how good offensively Illinois will be in the game.
I think UConn's defense overall has to be on point because Illinois is the most efficient offense in the country, and one of the things they do really well is they hunt out matchups. You know, their ball screens are really effective because they get the angle that's going to get them the switch that they want, and then they just try to cook that switch. And Illinois is an excellent offensive rebounding team. So that means all 5 Huskies are going to have to get to the defensive glass, and that can slow their transition. So rebounding is going to be a big factor.
The other national semifinal, a couple of 1 seeds. Michigan and Arizona have blown out everybody in their path. They're winning games in the tournament by an average of more than 20 points per game. What's the biggest factor in this one?
Yeah, I think the biggest factor is going to be Michigan's interior defense. They're an excellent paint protection team. They protect the rim very well. Adai Mara is one of the best shot blockers in the country. But they not only have Mara, but they've got some other size and bulk there, and that's what Arizona does. They pound the ball in the paint. They're a 2-point scoring team. They'll make some threes, but they're not obsessed with the 3-point line. What they really do is get to the foul line. And so it's going to be important for Michigan to play really good physical defense without fouling, because you don't want Arizona scoring at the foul line. And I think the toughest matchup that Arizona's going to have is Yaxel Lindeborg. I mean, Lindeborg, his last 3 games, he's averaging 25 a game, and he is a really difficult matchup. It doesn't matter whether they put Ivan Karchenkov on him, who's a great defender. Lindeborg is big, he's skilled, he can play outside and in.
I think you will see Karchenkov on him just because of the size and the frame. I think this game comes down to toughness, too. Like, Michigan is a really good team. Obviously, offensively, they have the highest ceiling. I just wonder how they'll handle being punched in the mouth over and over and over. Now, look, they can respond to that and they can win the game easily. I often go back to the head of the snake. For me, Michigan finds their rhythm with their point guard, Elliot Cadeau. He makes the world go round. That Jaden Bradley, that Big 12 Player of the Year, what he does offensively, but what he does defensively, starting with Elliot Cadeau, could be a critical X factor in the game.
I agree with the X factor. I think the most important thing is Arizona's defense we don't talk about enough. Their physicality of defense. The teams that have given this team a hard time have been physical teams. Michigan's, when you think about the Purdue game, you think even the Michigan State game, the Duke game, the physicality on the perimeter, physicality in the paint. If Arizona can bring that physicality to this game, that could be the difference in the game for Arizona, and they're going to just grind it out and just pound it in the paint. But I think it's going to be in the defensive end for Arizona that's going to be the difference.
Arizona owns the nation's longest winning streak. They've won 13 in a row since a couple of close losses. Michigan has been maybe the most dominant team start to finish all year. Still another step for both after this national semifinal if they want to cut down the nets. Something no Big Ten team has done since 2000, something Arizona's done once. Right here in Indianapolis back in 1997.
Thanks, Reese. Thanks, fellas. Great to see y'all out there. Now it's time for our happy hour special. And this is special. We showed you Shohei Ohtani's first home run earlier. Well, 2 batters later, Mookie Betts had his second of the year, a 2-run shot to make it 5-3 Dodgers in the third. Then in the fifth, Freddie Freeman joined in on the fun, making it 9-4 Dodgers, and they still weren't done because then in the seventh, Kyle Tucker, solo home run. The Dodgers went on to win it 13-6. They're 5-2 on the year. So all those sad Laker fans, I hope that makes you feel better.
Want. Day game at Yankee Stadium. The Red Hot Marlins already on top 1-0 in the first, and then Aaron Judge enters the chat, sends one deep for his third homer of the year. That was 387 feet, for those of you who are wondering. And the Yankees go on to win it 8-2. And let's go to Fenway. That's where I would prefer to go, where the Red Sox need a win in the worst way. In the bottom of the sixth, Red Sox up 3-2. Marcelo Mayer turns on one, sends it to right. And Fernando Tatis Jr. tries to jump the wall and bring it back, but it's over his head and it's gone. And they're singing Sweet Caroline. Red Sox win it 5-2.
Hey, this update, let's go to Pittsburgh, where top prospect Connor Griffin is making his major league debut in their home opener. And check this out. He sends a shot out to left center. This is his very first major league at-bat, and one hops the wall, runners score, and Griffin is in for the double. So a nice start to a pro career.
And you can't have a happy hour and not go to Coors Field. Phillies already up 3-0. Brandon Marsh at the plate. He sends a shot out to right into the second deck, 454 feet. How about that, Aaron Judge? Bryce Harper would homer in the next inning, and the Phillies are up big in this one, 9-0 at the moment.
And coming up on SportsCenter, your bracket might be busted, but that doesn't mean you're out of the game. Joe Fortenbaugh joins the show with his best bets in the men's Final Four. And no way, Jose. This happened again. Yes, you have to see the latest home run headshot coming up in low 5. SportsCenter's back.
Danny Daisy Design transforms any space. And Intuit QuickBooks pulls everything together in one place with AI agents working for her.
Income's up.
And trusted experts working with her.
Let's look at your forecast.
Great. Over there, guys. Outdo it with Intuit QuickBooks.
Short on nothing, big on weekend. Only on Royal Caribbean.
What kills weeds without killing my grass?
Roundup for lawns. So you're saying this stuff kills crabgrass and barnyard grass, but won't kill the grass?
And it won't kill the grass.
Roundup for lawns. This stuff works.
Then I realized the more you bundle, the more you save on insurance with Liberty Bibberty.
It's like you're talking my love language.
Well, I've been taking word classes online.
Wow.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe ulcerative colitis symptoms can keep coming back. Break away to what's possible with Tremfya, with rapid relief at 4 weeks. Many people experienced remission at 1 and even 2 years. Some saw 100% visible healing of their intestinal lining. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Tremfya now offers self-administration from the start. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today.
Who's ready for a deal? Now you can order a footlong in the Subway app and get another for free. That's right, Subway Sub Club members, free. Get your favorite sub plus one. Subway, eat fresh, feel good.
Nationwide is so much more. Isn't it time we work too? Put up one hand for insurance. Put up your other hand for financial services. Now give it up for great insurance and financial services. Don't let up.
It's easy to shine when everything's going your way. But who are you when life goes off script? See, I faced bladder cancer and even leaks that tried to take me out of the game. That's why I use the Pin Guards. It has my back. It changes everything but you.
Malcolm has been intentionally hiding himself from this family for years. What? This family's non-stop antisocial behavior is toxic to me.
What is wrong with you?
You'll never know. The court sealed that report.
The NHL on ESPN presents a hat trick of games this weekend.
Rister scores! My goodness, is that filthy. A huge NHL hockey Saturday.
Watch the NHL on ABC, ESPN, Disney Plus, and the ESPN app.
The newest spicy Cheez-It superstar is... It's the Crunch! Fight me!
Runners will do anything to cut through the wind. Why? When you can go fast the easy way in hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst.
Paradise can be challenging. I don't think this is safe to go inside.
But on the bright side, this is why people live in Hawaii.
We're tackling new locations. You bought this lot, sight unseen, on another island, and a whole new list of problems.
Through it all, we're creating amazing homes.
That is $1 million view.
I don't think there's a lot of people that would take this on.
Because they're not crazy like we are.
Renovation Aloha, all new Tuesday night at 8 on HGTV.
The SoFi NBA Play-In Tournament is only on Prime. Starting April 14th with all 6 games. The SoFi NBA Play-In Tournament begins April 14th, only on Prime.
Cannot wait to watch that with my kids. Hi, Ray and Pierce. ESPN is the home of the women's Final Four tonight. South Carolina and UConn at 7 Eastern, followed by Texas and UCLA. Our Final Four pregame special from Phoenix begins at 6, and we will also have a special courtside presentation of both games on ESPN2 and the ESPN app.
A lot of folks in that beautiful desert you're looking at will be watching this one. U of A, Arizona, and Michigan squaring off tomorrow as co-favorites to win the national title at DraftKings Sportsbook. UConn has the longest odds of the remaining teams at plus 550 as they go for their 3rd title in the last 4 seasons. Here's Joe Fortenbaugh with his best bets for the Final Four.
Best bets for the Final Four. Let's go in chronological order, beginning with Illinois minus 1.5 over UConn. You've heard it. I've heard it. Everyone's heard it. Danny Hurley, 17-1 against the spread since 2023 in the big tournament. Bookmakers have heard it as well. That number's factored into the price, meaning you're paying a Danny Hurley tax in order to play the Huskies. Game should be closer to -4 in favor of Illinois. We'll take the value at -1.5. I also think you could go under 139.5 in this game. 2 good defenses, 2 slow tempos. In the nightcap, we'll take Arizona plus 1.5 over Michigan. This game comes down to the Wolverines' 3-point shooting. 44% from deep so far in the tournament. For comparison's sake, Belmont was #1 in the country at 3-point shooting this year at 41%. When Michigan's shooting falls off, so too will the scoring. That's where we take advantage with Arizona. You want a little bonus bet as well? Arizona and Michigan to record 6 or more points in the opening minute pays 5-1. Those are your best bets for the Final Four.
Thanks, Joe. And it's Friday, so it's our not top play going to Jake Shields of Highland College. Center fielder channeling his inner Jose Canseco, apparently. Yeah, he lost the ball in the sun, and it bounced off his head.
Off the dome.
And over the fence. I mean, look how far he is from the wall. That ball had to travel at least 15 feet. That was ruled a home run. So I'm sorry, Jake.
I feel bad. All right, enjoy the hoops. PTI is next.
That was fun.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. We were both off yesterday, Tony. Did you miss our viewers?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. You do this for the viewers? Really? Come on. You don't do it for the viewers. You do not do it for the viewers.
We do it for the kids. Maybe the viewers'
do it?
kids.
Do we do it for the kids? Yeah. That's so great. It's so great to think we do it for the kids. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. We are back, baby. In today's episode, Phil joins Tiger in missing the Masters. The women's Final Four is set to start in 90 minutes, and Jay Billis joins us for a breakdown of the men's semis. But we begin today with the Oklahoma City Thunder answering all questions about how much of a challenge the Lakers posed to them by beating the Lakers last night by 43 points, 139-96. In that game, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 28 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and just 1 turnover in 30 minutes on the court. And in that game, Luka Doncic went out in the third quarter with a bad hamstring, and in his 26 minutes, Doncic had just 12 points on 3 of 10 shooting and 6 turnovers. Wilbon, what does this game say about the Thunder, and where does it leave the Lakers?
Well, it said about the Thunder exactly what we knew it would say. They're the champs, and they got tired of a little gnat buzzing around their heads, and that gnat happens to be sort of treated royally in most quarters, the Los Angeles Lakers, and deservedly so. And it says about the Lakers, Tony, is not the loss is bad enough, and that would say something. But Luka pulling up lame on that hammy with a week to go in the regular season, so 2 weeks to go before the playoffs, that's bad. Even with, LeBron James in a role that he can expand or contract or do anything he can, and he does because he's LeBron James, it's still Luka, who's the player of the month of August, Luka, who's appearing on everybody or most people's top of the MVP list the last few weeks. No Luka, or Luka limping around the Lakers wouldn't struggle anyway against OKC, San Antonio, Denver, maybe even Houston and Minnesota. And now this, but about the champs, it said we're tired of this. We'll guard whoever you put out there, however great they are, whatever they're called, whatever category. We got waves of them. Bring them on.
Yeah, my inclination initially is to look at a game like this with a 43-point spread, just a beatdown, and say that where it leaves the Lakers is at the side of the road waiting for the AAA truck to show up. But I mean, let me also add this, because I don't want to be too hasty here. The Lakers get to play Oklahoma City next Tuesday in Los Angeles.
In
if
LA.
they were to win that game, that negates a lot of these impressions. If they were to play very well and Luka was healthy and played very well, then every conversation is back on the table, including MVP. But it is also true that what happened last night was a big punch in the face for the Lakers and a standing 8. What it says about the Thunder is pretty much what you said. They're a really good team. They played really well, and they destroyed the credibility of the Lakers. But, and this is a very big but, it is not the Lakers who are the large object in their rearview mirror. No, it's not.
That's right.
It's the Spurs
Good point, Tony.
who are the large object in their rearview mirror.
Yeah.
And the Thunder's, I think, 14-1 or 15-1 since March 1st. But the Spurs are 28-2, something like that, since February 1st. And the Spurs have beaten them 4 out of 5. So this game, Mike, this game does not affect that at all.
It does not. Tony, 2 good points you made. That one and the first one. These declarations have to be temporary. You and I have covered enough, like 100 total seasons of NBA between us, and we know what happens next week can reverse what happened this week. But that's on the Lakers. Right. That's now on the Lakers. It's your serve. What are you going to do? The Masters begins next week, and it will be without 2 of the golfers who have defined it and the sport for decades. Five-time winner Tiger Woods is seeking treatment following his arrest on suspicion of driving while under the influence. And three-time champ Phil Mickelson withdrew yesterday, saying that he'll be away from the sport for an extended period to, quote, allow his family to navigate a personal health matter, close quote. Tone, the first Masters without Tiger and Phil since 1994. Has you feeling how?
It has me feeling sad. Of course it has me feeling sad because one of the players who's not going to compete in the Masters is apparently under the influence of a drug problem. And one of the players who's not going to play in the Masters is apparently under the influence of a family health matter. So these are not injuries. These have nothing to do with golf. That's what makes me sad here, the extent to which these people have to change their lives. It also feels sort of like the end of an era, but again, let me not be too hasty about that because in 2019, when Tiger couldn't play and nobody had seen him, he came back and won the Masters in his 40s. And Phil Mickelson, a couple of years ago when he was 52, finished second in the Masters. So I don't want to write him off. I don't want to write him off completely. I don't want to do that, though I don't know how competitive they'll be. But I do want to say this, okay? These people, these two, are the most important golfers in the last 30 years. Tiger has 5 green jackets. Only Jack Nicklaus has more. Phil has 3 green jackets. Only Tiger and Jack and Arnold Palmer have more. They got 8 between them, Mike. And if you look at people ranked number 1 for long periods of time in the last 10 to 15 years, Rory McIlroy, Dustin Johnson, John Rahm, who else am I leaving out? Scotty Scheffler, and come on, I wrote it down. All right, it doesn't matter. I'll get to it at some other point. They've got 6 among them. Jordan Spieth. They've got 6 among them. These guys have 8. I mean, their dominance is so important.
It is. And I feel 2 ways about it. I wonder about this because basketball has it coming. There's going to be some postseason that doesn't include LeBron and Steph or LeBron and KD and Steph. And the sport has to go on. They do. They have to go on. And so the golf is in that place right now with Tiger and Phil. And there's a sadness first. My first response is these guys not being there for these specific reasons. It just sort of casts a pall initially. Yes. But, Tony, even if they come back and they're competitive once each, one time more or something like that, which we both would wildly applaud, they're capable guys out there. You mentioned Scotty Scheffler. Golf seems to be in as good a hands as the sport could be competitively without those guys, as good as it can be right now.
Yes and no, because they were also not only the greatest players, they were the most popular players. Everybody loved them. Scotty Scheffler is number 1. He is not beloved. Not like these guys.
No.
Maybe he will be in time.
They got to
He's
work
not
on
like
it.
these
Long
guys.
way to go.
Yeah, let's get to the college basketball being played tonight and being played right near where you are right now in Arizona. Phoenix is hosting the women's Final Four. I'm sure, Mike, somebody would send a car for you if you want to go. All 4 number 1 seeds have reached this point. UConn will play South Carolina in the early game. UCLA will play Texas in the late game. Wilbon, does UConn or UCLA face the tougher test?
This isn't close. And yes, I will be here not going to the games today, but certainly planning to be at Sunday's national championship final. This isn't close. Texas, the current Texas regime, doesn't have any national championships. Do they? The answer is no. So UCLA is playing a team that, yes, it lost to earlier this season, so they sort of have the revenge factor going for them. But no, UConn is playing a worthy current champion, a champion once removed, a school and a coaching staff, Dawn Staley, with 3 national championships, and that would be 2 more than Geno and UConn since 2017. So this ain't close. South Carolina got their clocks cleaned. Who said that years ago? And a year ago by UConn, they were down by 100. They lost by like 23. Talk about revenge motive. South Carolina, Tony, I will take South Carolina right now to win the first game tonight. Not cover and all your get a bookie, DraftKings junk. To win the game, South Carolina to beat UConn tonight. That's what I'm taking. So that question is an easy answer.
Yeah, so I'm going the other way on that. If you had asked me to write a bracket 3 weeks ago when this began, I would have put UConn in the final game, and I would have put them in ink, because they've now won 54 straight games, and they're beating people by 1 million. I will give you this. South Carolina has won this thing recently, okay? Not years and years ago, 2022 and 2024. Forget 2017. Like, this is not a long time ago. They've done that, and they do have Dawn Staley, who's got 3. And so they have to be given a chance, a good chance. But I look at what happened last year in the final. That was 23 points. That's significant to me. That I will say this, Mike. I think that Texas has great wins this year. They beat UCLA. They beat South Carolina twice.
They do.
Texas may actually be underrated at the moment. And I think Texas can beat or should beat UCLA. But I will, unlike you, I will be less surprised if UCLA wins that game than if UConn loses. That would be, for me, the biggest surprise. So we differ on this. Let's take a break. But coming up, we will ask Jay Billis who he favors in tomorrow's men's games.
We'll also ask him what Tommy Lloyd's stand in Arizona means for UNC's head coaching search. How's that historical note going for you with UNLV and Duke when they went back-to-back years and somebody won by 40 the first time? How'd that work out the next?
Okay, it's just a laxative. How scary could it be?
Honey, relax. It's Miralax. It works with the water in your body for gentle relief.
Relax, it's Miralax. For more fiber per serving than any other gummy, try Mirafiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, Twice Yearly PrEP is here. One office visit every 6 months. 2 times a year for HIV prevention. That's 1-2 PrEP. That's Yes2Go. Yes2Go is an injectable prescription medicine that helps to protect against HIV through sex. 1 office visit every 6 months. 1 during your winter glam, and 1 during your summer glow. 1 during your winter time, and 1 during your summer shine. You must be HIV negative to receive Yes2Go and get tested for HIV before each injection. If you think you were exposed to HIV or have flu-like symptoms, tell your healthcare provider right away. HIV testing may be needed. Yes2Go does not prevent other sexually transmitted infections. Practice safer sex and get Yes2Go as scheduled. Missing doses increases your chance of getting HIV. Tell your provider about your medical conditions if you are pregnant or plan to be, and all the medicines and supplements you take, as Yes2Go may affect some medicines. The most common side effects are injection site reactions, headache, and nausea. Rare serious injection site reactions can occur, so tell your provider about any side effects. 99.9% of people stayed HIV negative. Ask a healthcare provider if Yes2Go is right for you. 1-2 PrEP.
Chicken Al Pastor is back at Chipotle, where fire meets flavor, where heat meets pineapple sweet, where chicken meets the sizzle of the grill, and where fans meet their favorite. Chicken Al Pastor, where fire meets flavor.
You gesture, the world responds. Any car that doesn't offer that sense of control is a car that stops short of amazing.
Sometimes the best way to tell people you love them is to let a grill full of Kingsford do the talking. Kingsford, savor it.
Exclusively on ESPN, a star-studded premiere event.
Get your popcorn
on the grandest stage in women's college hoops. The Final Four, tonight on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app.
Michael can go all the way. Right to the top. By himself. Wouldn't that be something? I want you to look at that wall. I want you to believe that you can touch it. You can't quit.
I want to be who I want to be.
Do whatever you want. I own you from 9 to 5.
I need to start living my own life, just like everyone else.
You ain't like everyone else.
Michael, rated PG-13.
New Sensodyne Clinical Repair is absolutely amazing. When your teeth are sensitive, they need special care. New Sensodyne Clinical Repair creates a protective shield over those exposed areas that can help repair sensitive areas of teeth after 60 seconds. I recommend Sensodyne Clinical Repair.
Don't just like somebody on the app. Like them in real life. She likes you. Say hello.
Hello. Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
Get one of these Jimmy John's sandwiches, chips, and a drink for $8.99. Choose Turkey Tom with all-natural turkey or Pepe with smoked ham and provolone. Delicious. The $8.99 meal deal for a limited time at Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good.
Brandon Coley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
What'd she call Hartford?
Oh, we actually sold the Twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Very lucrative.
Oasis Breeze Tan and Spa.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
The United Football League on ESPN is back. New teams, new rules, and more access inside the action. This is football reimagined. Saturday on ESPN and Sunday on NFL Network.
We're about 24 hours from tip-off of the men's Final Four, which makes it a perfect time for a visit from our great friend, the ever-dashing ESPN college basketball analyst Jay Billis in Indianapolis, outdoors at the moment. Let's start with this. The early game tomorrow is 3-seed Illinois against 2-seed UConn. Illinois is a slight light favorite. Is that how you see this game?
I actually have UConn as a slight favorite in the game. These two teams played earlier in the year in late November. I don't think that game really matters because Illinois point guard Keaton Wagler, a freshman, didn't have ball handling responsibilities in that game. Kylan Boswell was handling the ball more often. He had 25 in that game. But I think that game's kind of irrelevant with regard to this because both the teams are substantially different. But Illinois poses UConn some interesting issues because they're excellent offensively. And what Illinois does really well is they hunt out matchups. They'll hunt out the weakest defender, and they do a great job with ball screen angles so they can get a switch and then attack the switch that they get. They did that very effectively in the second half against Iowa in order to get here. But UConn runs such beautiful offense, and Terrace Reed Jr. is going to be their biggest problem because of his size. I mean, he's averaging close to 23 points a game in the tournament and 13.5 rebounds. But Alex Karaban, I think, is a key on both ends of the floor. And if UConn were to win the championship this year, Alex Karaban will have 3 championships in his career. That would make him the only non-UCLA player in history to have 3 national championships.
Wow.
That's pretty wild. That is pretty wild. We'll stay on UConn for a second, Jay. And the word demonstrative certainly seems fair when describing Dan Hurley, who you know pretty well. Last week he had the forehead taps with officials being the latest incident. You know him well. You've known him for a long time. Give us just your sense of Dan Hurley, just sort of the picture of who he is and how he is in a situation like this.
I love Dan Hurley. You guys know, I mean, he's from a family of basketball royalty with Bob Hurley Sr. in the Hall of Fame and Bobby Hurley, arguably the best point guard to ever play college basketball. But Dan is unique, and he's old school in the way he coaches. He's new school in the system he uses. It's like watching a European pro team out there, very creative, especially offensively. But he's really quirky. Like, he's a high-character person and coach that is a character. And, back in the day, in the 80s, 70s, we had a bunch of characters. We don't have as many now. It's more corporate. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry now. But Dan is really quirky. He wears the Superman underwear and the socks, and he's really superstitious, and he burns incense on the floor before games and puts garlic under the stands and all that stuff. I can't imagine that helps, but if he thinks it helps, that's great. But I love having a character like Dan in the game.
Jay, the second game, Michigan and Arizona seems just irresistible. One of the irresistible matchups in recent years to me. How do you separate the two?
The one separator, Michael, that I think could be there is the free throw line. Arizona is a pounded inside team. They play inside out. They make threes, but they don't take a lot of them. They shoot a really good percentage, like 38% as a team from three, and Braden Burry is an outstanding three-point shooter. He's their best shooter and top scorer. But they like to pound the ball inside, and as a result, they get to the free throw line a lot. Arizona has made more free throws than their opponents have attempted. In fact, they've made 100 more than their opponents have even shot. So that means if their opponents have made 100% of their free throws, Arizona's outscored their opponents by 100. And so Michigan being able to play really good defense and be physical without fouling is going to be important. And Michigan is a really good interior defensive team. Adai Mara is one of the best shot blockers in the country. They've got size and bulk as well. So that's going to be a key, is who wins the battle of the paint. And then the glass is going to be important. And when you've got to send everybody to the defensive glass, that can affect your transition as well because it pulls everybody in, so it makes it a little bit tougher to run.
Let me get you out of here on this, and it's news today. Arizona coach Tommy Lloyd is going to stay out west with Arizona rather than leave for the North Carolina job. What does this mean for Arizona, and where does this leave the Tar Heels?
Well, it's more of the same in the college basketball industry. Anytime there's a coveted job open like North Carolina, and North Carolina happens to be the program now, they wind up making coaches a heck of a lot of money because the schools they feel insecure that their coach may leave, so they sign them to extensions. The coaches can get more money for the program, for their staffs, all that stuff. And I thought Tommy Lloyd handled it beautifully. And Dusty May, the same thing. I always thought that Skip Prosser, the late, great Skip Prosser, when he was at Wake Forest, had the best answer. When anybody asked him about a job opening, he would say, I don't talk about my job status. It ended all the discussion, but you could still make people feel a little insecure because when coaches have leverage, they have to use it. When they're not winning, the school is the one that has leverage, and they're the ones that are insecure. When they have leverage, they have to use it, and I think Tommy Lloyd did a great job of using it. But North Carolina just pushes them a little further out, and they could wind up going to options that are further down the line. But they're having to wait now. They got to wait. Maybe if they're after Billy Donovan, they got to wait till the NBA season ends. If they're after Dusty May, they got to wait till this ends. And Dusty May's taken the Skip Prosser line, and I think he's been really smart in doing that.
Thank you so much, Jay. Enjoy
Thanks, Jay.
the
Appreciate
Final Four.
Thank you. Great being with you.
Let's take one last break. Still to come, did Cam Boozer deserve to win the AP Player of the Year?
And LeBron says the NBA should move out of Memphis? Really? Billy Donovan's season's going to be over in about 12 minutes. They ain't got to wait long for Billy Donovan. They should just declare their season over now. They only give up 135 a game over the last 5 or 6.
Girls, your Hendrix meals.
Bobby, shh. Okay, coast is clear.
Ooh.
Give me. Grab me a McShaker fries and 10-piece McNuggets.
With 2 sauces.
And photo cards for the fans.
Nice.
My little soda pop.
Zoe, pick our meal.
Okay, you got this. It's just a laxative. How scary could it be? You can do hard things.
Honey, relax. It's Miralax. It works with the water in your body to hydrate and soften for gentle relief.
Relax. It's Miralax.
Buy Avatar Fire and Ash now only on digital.
This world goes much deeper than you imagine.
I am the mayor!
Witness the greatest chapter in the Avatar saga at home. Add Avatar Fire and Ash to your movie collection today.
With long-lasting battery life on the Dell PC, you have all the power you need for whatever the day and night brings.
I used to think that nothing can stop me. Then I faced bladder cancer and even leaks an opponent I could not run. But I knew I had to stay in the game. So take it from me. Don't be afraid to try the pin guards. It changes everything, but you.
Guys, no feet on the court?
I'm sorry, I thought these were the extra legroom seats.
No.
I had more legroom on the flight here.
Can't wait to get back on that plane.
Let's go! I need to get my lineups in before tip.
Just follow me on Prize Picks. Copy mine.
Okay, that's the only thing I'm a copy. You know I'm original. I did this first.
You original.
Download Prize Picks. New users play $5 and get $50 instantly in site credits.
These eyes love
These go classic every time.
These eyes change the outfit.
These are the outfit.
Got your prescription ready? Let's talk style at America's Best.
Sometimes the best way to tell people you love them is to let a grill full of Kingsford do the talking. Kingsford, savor it.
I'm not him. I'm not Jack.
Because a car that doesn't make you feel recognized is a car that stops short of amazing.
One-a-day 50-plus multivitamins are formulated for your overall health with nutrients to support brain and muscle function. So you're not just setting the pace, you're one step ahead.
Next time, slow down.
One-a-day 50-plus, the one for you.
We had no idea what we were capable of. It was time for us to change things.
The most affordable German-engineered car brand is also the most fun. Get in the driver's seat today. Get 0.9% APR or a $1,000 customer bonus on a select new 2026 Tiguan during Volkswagen Driver Days.
Creamy, crunchy, chocolatey dipped Greek yogurt goodness. Yasso, love it or it's free.
When business slowed, Hank asked Copilot in Excel how to help bring back the $1 slice. Suddenly, Hank says, you gotta try this place kind of thing.
All right, thank you.
Hank makes the pizza. Copilot handles the spreadsheets.
We'll give you this for a better deal on that.
Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill for a better deal.
Harlem has everything, but I couldn't find Pilates anywhere. So I started my own studio. And with the right help, I can make this place I love even better.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card from Chase for Business.
Happy time, people. Happy 24th birthday to The Miz. The full name of the young Brewers ace is Jacob Mizorowski, but calling him The Miz keeps us from having to spell it in scripts. Also enables Wilbon to chant it repeatedly throughout the season. And he's already had reason to do so. The Brewers have won both of The Miz's early starts, and he struck out 18 batters across 11 innings. Wow. His fastball touched 101.1 in Wednesday's win over the Rays. It seems like every year we wait for the Brewers to fall apart, and they never do. This appeared to be a rebuilding year, but once again, they're atop the NL Central with a record of 5-1.
Tony, they may skip right over rebuilding indeed, but beating the White Sox 3 times to start the season, the White Sox should be relegated. They may be worse than they were a couple of years ago, so I don't know what that means for the Brewers just yet.
Happy anniversary, Michigan. On this day 37 years ago, the Wolverines won the national championship in overtime, beating Seton Hall when Ramil Robinson stepped to the line and hit 2 free throws with 3 seconds left. Glenn Rice had 31 in that title game and 184 for the tournament, a record that still stands. The Wolverines were coached by Steve Fisher, who got elevated to the job just hours before the tournament, when Bill Frieder announced he'd agreed to leave for Arizona State after the tournament, and A.D. Bo Schembechler fired him, saying he wanted a Michigan man coaching Michigan.
I'm with my man Jalen Rose when he says to the current Michigan players, love you guys, but don't get carried away yet talking about greatest team ever, because these guys won. Not just Glenn Rice, Ramil Robinson, Terry Mills, Lloyd Vaught, and the next Michigan team, Jalen's own Fab Five. They got further. So, you know, Michigan's got these Michigan kids. They're great. They got some work left.
Happy trails to last night's start for Carter Jensen. The Royals removed their rookie catcher from the starting lineup before last night's game against the Twins because he overslept and showed up to the ballpark too late to adequately prepare. Salvador Perez, who'd been planning to DH, caught the game instead. Jensen did eventually enter the game in the 9th and told the Kansas City Star afterward, quote, I didn't wake up to my alarm, slept through it. Don't really have an excuse, nor should I. It sucks. It happens. I feel like I let teammates down, coaches down. Just know it won't happen again, unquote. The 22-year-old was aware of his awakening challenge back in the spring when he told the Royals social media team that he needs 6 to 8 alarms to wake up.
We've all overslept. I still have nightmares about oversleeping my last final exam in college. Come on, stop. We've all done it. The apology should be sufficient.
One omission, promising Cubs starter Cade Horton left today's game against the Guardians in the second inning with right forearm discomfort. Your reaction? That's it? That's your reaction?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the big finish. Victor Wembanyama sat out of the Spurs win over the Clippers due to injury management of his right ankle. You okay with that?
Yeah, I think he's getting ready for this run. He can't miss 3 more games and be eligible for the postseason stuff, but I think he'll be fine. Cam Boozer won the AP Player of the Year. Fred Hoiberg won Coach of the Year. Those make sense to you?
Yeah, they're both worthy. They were fine. Nebraska was more than fine. LeBron told Bob Does Sports that the NBA should ditch Memphis for Nashville, adding that if the Grizzlies had drafted him, he might have pulled an Eli. Your thoughts?
That seems particularly mean. and beneath LeBron to go after Memphis like that. That just sounds out of character for him to me. A Virginia judge ruled against UVA quarterback Chandler Morris playing a 7th college season. 7. Makes sense?
Good. I mean, how long are you supposed to stay in college? Come on. Come on. Last one, 19-year-old Pirates rookie Connor Griffin had an RBI double in his first Major League at-bat. Your reaction?
My God, the Pirates and the Brewers in our division keep stockpiling talent. We can't lose Cade Horton, please. Hope this is temporary.
We're out of time. We will try and do better the next time. And I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Have a great weekend, Knuckleheads. And now, coverage begins of tonight's Women's Final Four.
You're going to the final game, right? You're going to the final game.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the NCAA Women's Final Four studio, presented by Capital One.
We started with 68 teams, and now only the Final Four remain. When play started, all eyes were on Phoenix, Arizona, and the stage is now set for 4 programs who are no stranger to being here. The first matchup on deck features a team who has been here more than anyone else. The defending champions, UConn, who have won 54 straight games dating back to last season. And the team they beat to win championship number 12, South Carolina, entering their 6th straight Final Four, breaking a tie for the 2nd longest streak all time. Tip-off of the Final Four in just about an hour.
When the players enter and the light is cast, the focus is set to extreme. In the frenetic cameras and the anxious crowd, the clicks are calls to action. Magic. They weave, they work, and play. Moments. Feeling the glare of attention and the magnitude of the stakes. Memories weave. This is it. There is no second take. There are legacies to begin.
This is a business trip. We have a job to do, and that's to win a national championship.
All of the ingredients are inside that Texas locker room.
To pursue.
It's become the norm. South Carolina back to the Final Four.
To continue.
We've had everyone step up in different moments throughout the season. Now it's time for all that to come together.
Moments will enter the timeless space where memory and myth intertwine. So much pride, so much passion, perceived from every angle, imprinted on every mind, as they perform the role of a lifetime.
These magic moments.
Now they have the chance to rise and be immortalized.
I don't know about you, but I've got chills. I mentioned we started with 68 teams. There are now only 4 remaining, and these 4 are no stranger to being here. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. UConn, South Carolina, UCLA, and Texas getting ready for tip-off in just about an hour. As we welcome you in, me and my friends, fantastic friends, Janelle Gumike, Andrea Carter, and Christine Williamson here. How you feeling, ladies?
Yeah, you mentioned chills. I got chills. It's not cold in here. The teas gave me chills.
I've been having goosebumps all day long.
It's going to be...
And they won't stop
It's going to be beautiful. I cannot wait for these games. They're going to be so stinking good. And if things feel a little familiar, it's because these 4 teams were in Tampa just last year. They're now the last 4 standing, and yet again making this the 2nd time in NCAA tournament history that the same 4 teams are in the Final Four for consecutive years. It's been 30 years since that happened. So ladies, what got each of these teams back to the stage? Shanae, you start with South Carolina.
Yeah, we've seen big game from the Gamecocks. Historically, South Carolina has been known for their post players, but they stand here in the Final Four behind elevated performance from their guards. We're talking about Raven Johnson, Tanaya Latson, Tessa and company. Shot 70% from 3 in their regional. True balanced attack for the Gamecocks.
Well, the UConn Huskies got here on the shoulders of their Naismith Player of the Year, Sarah Strong. They got her the ball when they needed to, and she elevated her game in Fort Worth, Texas. Averaged 21 points, 9 rebounds, 5 steals, and 3.5 blocks in 2 games to help UConn get back to its 25th Final Four. Sarah Strong is climbing the UConn record books. She's a legend already.
So bigs matter the most, right, Dre? Especially when it comes to UCLA. Lauren Bex has been a beast, averaging 23 in the tournament. But the Bruins supporting cast has truly stepped up. Ange Dulic is 15 versus Duke. Kiki Rice is 21 versus Minnesota. The offensive depth has been the difference for the Bruins.
Yeah, bigs matter a lot. Guards matter a lot, too. But you know what matters the most? Defense. Texas's defense. They're better offensively than we have ever seen before. Madison Booker in the mid-range. Yes, that's great. But they got here with their tough Texas defense. Texas has held every opponent in the tournament under 60 points. That's the Texas standard. That's why they're here.
Ladies, one thing that stands out to me about these 4 teams, we mentioned that they were in the Final Four last season, but also they're very familiar with one another, especially when you think about South Carolina and UConn. Shanae, what stands out to you in these matchups?
Amongst the 4-1 seeds who are here today, on paper, it might be the same name, also on their jersey, but they are truly different teams. If you think about UConn, they got back to the mountaintop for the first time in 8 years. Before, they had won 4 straight, leading into 2016, and now they got back to the mountaintop. But the pain of losing for Texas, the pain of losing for South Carolina, the pain of losing for UCLA has created an improved version of these 3 other squads that want to win a national championship on their own. If you think about UCLA, they want to prove that they are tough. If you think about Texas, they want to prove that it's not just defense, they have an improved offense. If you think about South Carolina, they want to prove that they have positional balance. The gap has closed from last year to this year, and that's why these 2 games are going to be sensational.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's just incredible, right? Like, we have the same programs, but it's hard to even say we have the same teams because the teams are so different from last season compared to this season. I just love that we get a rematch of the national championship tonight. Like, all of the weight that is put on this game for these players, it's just so fun talking to all of them, like talking to Tessa Johnson, talking to Raven Johnson about how that loss fueled them this year, but even how losses from this season, not even so much losing to UConn last season in the national championship. South Carolina said, we're fueled by losing to Texas in the SEC championship. They want to get back to that mountaintop. What I also love is that we're going to have a new contender in the national championship game. No matter what. No matter what happens tonight, Texas or UCLA will be fighting for that national championship, and they didn't get to do so last year.
One thing that stands out to me about all the teams that we talked to on Wednesday is the fact that they mentioned that they're different teams than last year, but also different teams in the beginning of the season. When you think about the growth of these 2 teams specifically, what have you seen?
I was really impressed not only by the ladies on the floor for South Carolina, as you see here, and that woman right there, that's a superstar, Joyce Edwards. It's also Dawn Staley, her coaching job. The fact that she said, hey, I'm not deterred by, undeterred by wins. It's actually the losses where I keep my cool, and that's where we learn the most. I always go back to losing my final conference championship game versus USC. That helped us get back to the Final Four. So the pain of losing can actually bring out the best version of these squads, especially in this moment.
On UConn's side, when we talked to Gino on Wednesday, he mentioned that this team reminded him of that 1991 team that nobody saw them coming. By the way, they played UVA and Dawn Staley. But for UConn, it's won all 38 teams this season. Only one was decided by single digits and enters the Final Four undefeated for the 9th time in program history.
That's ridiculous.
But the first since 2018. All other teams have combined to do that only 7 times. 6 of the first 8, UConn walked away with the title, and Holly Rowe caught up with the head coach, Gino Auriemma.
Coach Auriemma, Sarah Strong sweeping the National Player of the Year awards. In years past, when you've had a player like that, Maya Moore, Brianna Stewart, you've won national championships. What does she have to be for you tonight to take that step?
Well, it's obviously it's a lot because so much is expected of her, but I don't know that this is Center versus Alcaraz. This is UConn versus South Carolina. So I think Sarah's going to do what she always does, and I think the rest of the team, if they play up to their ability, then I think we're going to be in great shape.
You said since the beginning of this tournament that you are the sum of your parts, that this is not one of the great UConn teams, but the record is perfect. The stats are great. Who of the sum has to be very special tonight?
Well, when you think about it, in years that we've been here before, there are multiple pieces, and certainly AZ and Sarah get the bulk of the attention, and now Blanca. But, it's going to end up being kids like KK, Ashlyn Shade, Jenna, Sarah Williams, Allie Isabel. You know, someone from that group or a couple people from that group. Remember we played South Carolina in the national championship game a couple years ago? And the kid that's a good player had like 27. Crazy. LSU wins the national championship. Kim comes off the bench and gets 20-something. That's usually what happens in this event. Somebody comes forward for the winning team.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ali.
I want to go back to the first player that they were talking about. That was Sarah Strong in this matchup. And I think one of the most fun things to learn during the tournament is she's really just coming into her own in her second season. Janae, how have you seen that play out?
The Elite Eight was a breakout game for Sarah Strong versus Notre Dame particularly, not for what happened on the floor. She had 21 points. She had 7 rebounds. That's like a casual night for her. But for the intangibles for Sarah Strong, how she controlled the huddle, how she challenged her teammates. And yes, she yelled at them and then apologized after in very Sarah Strong fashion, which was hilarious. And KK Arnold was even saying, yell at me more because our team needs that. She honestly took over. This was a game where AZ Fudge struggled to shoot the ball. This was a game where you saw her bring out her flex power when it comes to swatting shots. This was a game where you saw that they did not give her enough touches in the first half. And what did she say? One of my favorite phrases, I can do better by myself. Yeah. It's the next step, the breakout moment of leadership. Yeah. And that's what makes UConn players great historically. It's rising to the moment, rising to the occasion. We saw her put up 20 and 7. I think she saw an eye on the camera, which is why she smirked and turned the other way. But it's the intangibles of leadership that you just cannot buy.
Yeah, it's incredible because, you know, Sarah Strong, she's a little shy, but she's starting to break through that shyness, especially with her teammates. You mentioned the Notre Dame game. UConn was up 1 against North Carolina. Sarah Strong scored 8 straight points in that game. Do not be surprised if Gino Auriemma cuts that continuity offense off and starts calling quick hitters for Sarah Strong, but my eyes are on AZ Fudd. This is an excellent shooter, one of the best we have seen in UConn's already incredible history. At practice yesterday, watching UConn, AZ missed a 3 on the right wing. The rebound bounced right back to her, and she shot another 3 at the top of the key, and she made it, she swished it. That's the mentality that AZ Fudd must have in this game. Missed threes don't matter. Missing shots in Fort Worth doesn't matter. None of that matters now, and the thing about AZ is she's had success against South Carolina. Her best numbers against any opponent were South Carolina games last year. She had 28 points, 24 points. Will she have that mentality against this new, tough defense of South Carolina?
Yeah, the reigning most outstanding player from last year's Final Four and National Championship. And lastly, no matter if the shot goes down, you still gonna have to guard that woman.
Yeah,
that's what you're gonna have to do for South Carolina.
And I think it's very important what Gina was talking to us about on Wednesday as well, is the fact that she has so much pressure on her. She went into the season with all eyes on her. People knew that she would likely be the best player on the best team, and she's having to take on that burden. On the other side, Raven Johnson is in her final season as well. When you think about what she's done, Janae.
Yeah, this stage has helped players develop and grow physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's Good Friday. Happy early Easter to all who celebrate. But there's a perfect example of the growth on this stage between Raven Johnson and Joyce Edwards. And Biggie Smalls, I always take the bigs. Joyce Edwards had 9 offensive rebounds in the Elite 8. She had 12 total. All eyes are on the rim. She gets it, and this is the footwork that is so elite. She's one of the most athletic and mobile players regardless of position. Do you see that? That's like a Jordan fillet right there with the left. So difficult. I could never do that in my career. And more importantly, she had 24 points. And I want you guys to see the form right here. She is a runner. She is a track star. Do you see that? That's Olympic level commitment to running. And this is what makes South Carolina great. They don't care who gets the credit. They keep the ball high, and she finishes on both ends of the floor. She's the head of the snake for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, but the head of the snake as well. Right next to Joyce Edwards is Raven Johnson, who is playing so confident. Look how close she comes to this off-ball screen. Reagan Beers is too far back, but before Peyton Verhulst can even close the gap, watch Raven Johnson's feet. Zero hesitation. Her 2 feet hit the floor. She goes right into her jump shot. 50% from the field this season. That's a career high for Raven Johnson. But what she's always been great at is finding her teammates. Look, defenders playing off. Raven Johnson could settle for a 3 here, but there's time left on the shot clock. Get a better shot. Engage the defense. Dump off to Joyce Edwards. Raven Johnson has been playing phenomenal basketball. Her ability to decide when she should call her own number and when she should facilitate to her teammates. She had 18 points on 8 of 11 against Oklahoma. That was in Sacramento. Against TCU, quieter day scoring. She only had 10 points, but she also had 6 assists. So Raven's going to get done what the team needs from her, whatever that calls for.
I like that you use the word phenomenal because her head coach, Don Staley, talked about the work that she put in this offseason. Holly Rowe will have much more on that later in our show. So they'll get ready to take on a team in UConn UConn that they played in the national title game last season. And it is absolutely no surprise that Connecticut has produced some of the most prolific players we've seen step on the basketball court. We're going to take a look at the generational talents that have come through that program in just a little bit. And it is two GOATs going head-to-head in our first Final Four matchup. Dawn Staley is going to catch up with Holly Rowe ahead of Raven Johnson's last Final Four.
It is Johnson & Johnson.
Oh, yeah, me and Tessa.
She really cares about the other person. She really values relationships.
It's just a bond between us. It's a special connection, and I think that translates on the court.
Raven back to Tessa. But how about that?
Just to see their connection and how they are together. I mean, they love each other, and they are great dancers.
Tessa and Raven, they feed off of each other, and it's always right on time.
Raven Johnson with some big money buckets.
I mean, I'm going to miss Raven, but we have 2 more games together.
NCAA Women's Final Four Studio is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Okay, let's huddle up. When faced with a cancer diagnosis, who helps you rebound financially? Aflac. That's right. And who's been in the cancer insurance game since 1957? Aflac. And who can help cover treatment from diagnosis to recovery? Aflac. Now show me what you're made of. Aflac. To learn more, visit aflac.com/cancer. Whoa, whoa. Glad you're on my team. Aflac.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Are my 5 morning alarms a metaphor for everything else I'm putting on, like my laundry or my 768 unread texts?
I'm just your dermatologist. You don't want all of this showing up on your face. Try Hydro Boost.
Neutrogena, weightless hydration that goes deep.
The Whopper has never tasted better. Over a quarter pound of flame-grilled beef, crisp produce, a perfectly toasted bun, every detail stacked just right. Whether it's been weeks or years, try the Whopper again, just $3.99 on Wednesdays.
The Nissan Rogue takes hit after hit. Punished under immense pressure. And exposed to excessive wear. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality. We put it through the worst, so you get its best.
Pickleball Slam 4 is here. Andre Agassi, Eugenie Bouchard, James Blake, and Anna-Lee Waters.
Anna-Lee who?
Pickleball Slam 4, April 15th on ESPN and the ESPN app.
They were the blueprint for football greatness. Now it's time for the next generation to show the world what they're made of.
We're the first pick in the NFL Draft.
The NFL Draft, April 23rd through 25th.
Nothing beats March. Or 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card.
Someone say 3?
Caitlin, she lives for the 3s.
From way down the counter.
Wow. Oh, no cheese?
3 scoops? She scores.
Is that pistachio? Uh-oh, she's here. Oh!
Splash.
Oh. Y'all see it? Oh! That's it.
Off the glass.
My face is not a backboard.
It's now time for Raining Threes, brought to you by Capital One.
Davidson connects again. Watch out, Turkov is red hot.
Kamora Johnson.
Dagger from the top of the key.
Fourth 3 in the game for Marlon.
Bud connects. Bud again.
Around and down for the Blue Devils.
So many great moments throughout the tournament so far and much more coming with 3 games remaining. And you know who knows a little something about making threes? Dawn Staley, who made 11 in her NCAA tournament playing career. She caught up with our Holly Rowe.
Coach Staley, I read an article that Raven Johnson said the score to the last year's game against UConn's been up in the weight room since the offseason. How do you put behind you what happened last year, and this is a new group and a new focus?
Oh, I mean, I didn't even know that. I mean, I go in the weight room all the time. I mean, it is a different team. I think the fact that we didn't play UConn in the regular season, I kind of like the fact that this is our first time playing and we don't have any earlier footage at each other. You know, we don't have a previous game, and we're just playing based off our resume, and that ain't a bad thing when you're playing in the semifinals of a Final Four.
The resume is so strong as well. Raven Johnson has just taken a new step. There's something that you can feel that's different about her. What is it that you feel, and what does she have to be for you tonight?
Well, I think what I feel is what I felt for the past 5 years. What's happening now is she's sharing it. She's actually voicing the things that are in her heart. Before, she just was, reserved and allow everybody else to do it. Now you see it out front because she really wants it so bad. Raven, when I recruited her, she told me, and she committed, she said, we're going to win national championships. And it's plural. I mean, we've gotten 2 under her belt, but I would love to see her go out on top because there's not anybody more deserving, and it would be such a success story to tell all the people that play the game for the right reasons, that haven't gotten their fair shake, and have given a shorthand. Raven fought through all of that, and still, above all of that, she's still a winner.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, Holly.
These Final Four teams here have combined for 143 wins this season, the most entering the Final Four in NCAA tournament history, and each have cruised so far in the dance. It's the first time that all 4 teams enter the Final Four with a point differential of 100 or more in the tournament. Today we talked about it pretty much all show. These coaches are no stranger to being here. Gino Auriemma has been here 25 times. What about these coaches allows them to come back year after year?
Each head coach here in the Final Four has a different style, a different flavor, and for Gino Auriemma, he is a master of the details. I honestly had secondhand stress watching them practice because they're not allowed to make mistakes, and that's why they lead the nation in assist to turnover percentage. And most importantly, I love this statement by Gino: shrink the floor on defense, but also expand the floor on offense. His coaching style is simple, yet so profound. And then we just heard from Dawn Staley, who has her superpower being credibility and connection with her players. Her operative word is discipline. Her team is competitive but controlled, and that's why they're second in D1 in points in the paint. They just take the right shot at the right time. And I want to expand the field because we're going to have a great nightcap between UCLA and Texas. Vic Schaefer, he has this relentless mindset that rubs off on his team. He talks about bringing the wood, which is a bat, a prop, and that really rubs off in their toughness on defense. They have the best adjusted defense, a team that forces over 20 turnovers a game. And last but not least, Corey is a master strategist. She likes to play to her advantages, and I do believe that it's going to be fantastic because this is the best adjusted offense in UCLA. And most importantly, what we heard her, she's trying to just poke the bear a little bit. She's trying to poke the bear as a Bruin.
I just love how these coaches have so much buy-in. Like we had meetings with the coaches and the players earlier this week, and you could just hear from everyone how the individual players understood their role and what their role meant to the team's success. To me, when I watch all these players and when I listen to them, they all feel valuable. And it's hard this day and age to make every single player, even players coming off the bench, feel like they matter, right? Kids need to know that they matter. And when I think about these coaches and their ability to get buy-in, I think that's really special on the offensive end, on the defensive end, but just as a whole, to me.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think, there's the phrase, be a star in your role. We heard multiple teams say that. There's no better example of this than Tanaya Latson. She is someone who last year led the nation in scoring at Florida State, over 20 points per game. She sacrificed to get here to show her best version of basketball. She has a career-high shooting percentage because she has bought into the role to win.
Yeah, and when you think about players like KK Arnold and Ashlyn Shade, who started as freshmen because of injuries, and then they didn't start, and now they're back in the starting lineup, right? Because you just buy into what the team needs. My eyes specifically when it comes to coaches are on Vic Schaefer and Corey Close. Texas and UCLA, because of how shell-shocked their teams looked last season, now they get to face each other. They're not facing one of these Goliath coaches in Dawn Staley and Gino Auriemma. So we will get to see in the later matchup which coach has adjusted to the chaos of this moment and which coach has their team ready.
Face each other again, because we saw how the first match a little bit earlier in the season. We'll talk about that a little later. Time now for the Aflac Black trivia question, putting you guys on the spot right now. When was the last Final Four that did not include UConn or South Carolina in the field?
UConn or South Carolina?
Neither of them. When was that?
We had to have been babies or something.
Not quite.
2007? Was it really? Was it really?
Let's answer Black trivia question. It was 2007. How did you know that?
Well, I was just thinking about like the run that UConn had. They went there. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. They went there all of Stewie's years, so that was 2009. I feel like Candace and them played. That was 2008.
Okay, wait. Do you know the teams that were in the Final Four
in 2007?
Yes.
Tennessee. Was it Tennessee?
She would know that. Yeah,
Tennessee, Stanford.
Nope.
Yeah, dang, we still taking L's.
No, I gotta win. Don't do
It was
that.
Tennessee, North Carolina, LSU, and Rutgers that made it.
Oh shoot, I wasn't gonna guess that.
Great job, Dre.
All right, Sarah Strong knows nothing but winning, so it's no surprise that this UConn team is stronger with her on the court. We're going to take a look at just how special the AP Player of the Year is for this UConn team. That's next.
Watching NCAA Women's Final Four Studio, presented by Capital One.
The Whopper has never tasted better. Over a quarter pound of flame-grilled beef, crisp produce, a perfectly toasted bun, every detail stacked just right. Whether it's been weeks or years, try the Whopper again, just $3.99 on Wednesdays.
Bringing you College Game Day takes an all-star team. So when it's their time to shine, we make sure they have what they need to succeed. We champion the talent on our team, same way you champion yours. Principal, proud sponsor of College Game Day.
Ollie asks, do you have wellness goals this year?
Hello?
Girl, put your phone down. I got you. Start small with a daily multi.
What does it do?
Our multi's got you, from immune system support to heart health to bone health.
That's so easy.
So easy. Just 2 gummies a day.
Now that's going in the chat.
How we're made determines how far we go. So for those who are strong, those who are powerful, those who aren't afraid to push their limits, the world of greater awaits. Greater journeys, greater experiences, greater memories. The first ever Kia Telluride Turbo Hybrid is ready.
The NHL on ESPN presents a hat trick of games this weekend.
Rister scores! My goodness, is that filthy. A huge NHL hockey Saturday.
Watch the NHL on ABC, ESPN, Disney Plus, and the ESPN app.
Class, today we're talking women's hoops. Open your textbooks. Becky, what's wrong?
I'm the #1 hoops fan, but no one else believes me.
Time for you to get out there and prove it. Join thousands of screaming fans for an in-person experience you have to see to believe. It's March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Let them know who's in the building.
Thanks, Professor. Oh, baby, drinks on me.
And the Capital One Cup trophy to the best NCAA Division I men's and women's athletic programs.
Does Sarah belong in a conversation with all the greats in UConn?
Yeah, boy, he got it.
Sarah is a one-of-a-kind player. She is one of the smartest, most skilled, most unselfish players.
Unbelievable stat line by Sarah Strong. She's special.
I feel that she has her basketball is something that I haven't seen in a while. And the things that she does is unlike anybody.
I'm calling it now. I think she has the potential to be the GOAT in the women's game.
To constantly have her name in the conversation with greats and legends, it's only fitting.
Up to this point in her career, no one has done more at the University of Connecticut. No one. Yeah, she's in that conversation.
And she's going to keep climbing another list. She has 192 career points in the NCAA tournament, fourth most by a UConn player through their first two tourneys, and 26 shy of passing Maya Moore for the most. In her two Final Four games last year, she averaged 23 points on 68% shooting. You heard the word GOAT used in that tease there. If you don't think Sarah Strong is one of the best players in college basketball, then you tripping. That's one of her favorite words. But what makes her so special, Andrea?
Well, she's already writing her name down in the record books when it comes to UConn Huskies in their first two seasons. And think about how many legends have played for the University of Connecticut. They produce legend after legend, and Sarah Strong is already on that list through two seasons. Sarah Strong is first in steals per game. But let me remind you all of Nikisha Sales and how much of a dog she was at Connecticut on the defensive end. She was Big East Rookie of the Year during her time, had a great WNBA career. Sarah Strong's got hands like Nikisha Sales. Two-way players getting it done on the defensive end. Sarah Strong already first in steals through two seasons.
Let's talk about the points, though. Through two seasons, Sarah Strong is second in that category in UConn history. And similar to Maya Moore, she has a beautiful floor spacing ability, and this is where it gets scary. Both Maya and Sarah average 19 points per game as a sophomore. They both shoot 40% from three, so they light it up in a generational fashion.
Or who else to be on the list with? Oh, just Diana Taurasi. Diana Taurasi, first in assists through two seasons at Connecticut. Look at the dime, on time and on target. Sarah Strong is second as a big. It's even more impressive. She can get the ball to her teammates where they need it to score.
Drea, the late great Pat Summitt said, offense sells tickets, defense wins games, rebounding wins championships. She's already with the best of the best when it comes to UConn with rebounding. I don't know why we had to pick Stanford, but Tina is a legendary generational rebounder. She bosses out. She is truly professional. You think about Sarah, how she's committed to the details, whether it is points, scoring, rebounding, steals. She plays on both ends of the floor. And y'all, I have played against Tina. I have played against Maya. I played against Stewie. I played against Gabby and Fee. She is the perfect combination of all of those players, and I never thought I'd witness it. In the WNBA Finals, we talked about how we're watching greatness in real time with Asia Wilson and all the accolades that she had. This woman has swept as a sophomore, major, all of them, all of the awards. That is Sarah Strong. So when we watch these games, understand a star has not only been born, has taken off, and is lighting everybody up.
Yeah, I'm just really glad Tennessee wasn't on any of those highlights, okay? Thank you to whoever created. Actually, Joy, great tape. Thank you for not including Tennessee. Going back to Sarah Strong, I'm glad you talked about her game against Notre Dame earlier in the show, because if you go watch her buckets in that game, they're all different. She can score in so many ways. She had a post-up because Cass Prosper wasn't as strong. Then she had someone else on her. She pulls up for a mid-range jump shot. Then she knocks down a three. She gets a layup in transition. But even in addition to that, it's not just the points. Sarah Strong had 5 steals in both of the games. 5 steals against Notre Dame, 5 steals against North Carolina. She is a true two-way player as a big with guard skills.
I love that you mentioned steals, because she was going up against Hannah Hidalgo, who set the D1 record for most steals through the tournament and overall in one season. But Sarah Strong, the adjustment was, Gino said, oh, our guards might be having a tough night. Let's have Sarah Strong break off the ball. And then she created her own shot. She's the ultimate cheat code. The other thing that's been very interesting to learn about Sarah Strong is she's really starting to find her voice in her sophomore season, which has been very fun. Her teammates love it as well. She's a little funny, too.
She needs to.
She's a little funny.
Tell everybody else what to do.
Exactly. She is turning very much into a leader. Speaking of voices, here's the rest of our friends that are going to be on the call tonight.
All right, Christine, thank you very much. Getting ready for action between UConn and South Carolina. We know this rivalry. It is heated, and we are talking about two of the most prolific programs in all of college basketball. When these two teams met in 2022, it was the Gamecocks who captured the national championship last year. Connecticut got some revenge. Rebecca, these are two incredible defensive teams, but this year they also bring historically good offenses.
They have players who have a lot of versatility on the offensive end of the floor, multiple players who can really fill it up. You see how proficient they are, not only scoring the basketball, with the efficiency that they play as well. UConn takes a higher volume of three-point shots, but South Carolina also shoots very well from deep. Expect a high-scoring, fun game.
All right, time to check in with another one of our outstanding teammates. Here is Holly Rowe.
Both of these teams are driven this season by seniors who have been through a lot. I want to start with UConn's AZ Fudd. She has really been through a very challenging time and never given up. If you look back to her high school season where she was the #1 recruit in the country, a devastating knee injury in 2019 almost derailed her career before she ever got to UConn. I asked her, do you mind if we show these pictures? He said, no, I love it. I love my scars. My scars are what have made me who I am. She has fought back from that. #1 pick, gets to UConn and has another knee injury, 700 days in between NCAA tournament games. But AZ has stayed relentless and resilient, and now here she is, the most outstanding player from last year's championship, on a career-high season this year with threes and field goal percentage. She has an opportunity to go out with a really strong streak. The other senior that I want to showcase is Raven Johnson. A similar story, an ACL tear derailed her freshman year. You know about the infamous wave off from Caitlin Clark, but she got in the gym, and where she got in the gym is pretty interesting. Her high school buddy is one of the best players in the world, Anthony Edwards. So her trainer, Justin Rollins, and Anthony Edwards in the gym working together, and that work has paid off. Don Staley told us the game will love you back if you put in the work, and Raven Johnson career high in points and assists this year. The work has paid off for both of these seniors. Now let's check in with Jess Sims.
Thank you so much, Holly. My name is Jess Sims, and you are looking at right here the first ever courtside at the Women's Final Four. Y'all, it's the new alt broadcast that we got for you this year. And I got some of my girls with me. We got Olympic rugby player Alona Mara. We got the stud buds who are, by the way, streaming. Natisha Heidemann, Courtney Williams. Y'all, vibe check. How are we feeling right now?
Man, we courtside. We off it. We feeling good.
Man, we feeling good.
Ready to watch some ball. Just ball, ball out.
Just all ball.
We're all ball here.
Yeah. We're all ball here. Do we have any early predictions, or are we just here for like a good game?
I'm here for a good game. Man, I want them folks to compete. I want to see some good compete.
Okay, and what can we expect from y'all? Because y'all being so shy and so tame right now. You were just turning up 2 seconds ago, so what can we expect?
Oh, no, we finna do it up.
Yeah,
we finna do it up for sure.
All of us are. All of us are. The stud buds and the
Fem buds.
We're still workshopping. We're going to workshop it.
Alona, this is your first time at the Final Four, and you are courtside.
I know, what a jump. I'm really excited. I feel on top of the world right here. What an experience. I know some basketball, but I'm excited to learn even more.
I'm so excited for you. And y'all have been here before plenty of times, but not in these seats. What does this mean to you?
Man, up front, center, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's only right, man. It's only right.
Well, you see 4 of us right here. We're right here in the corner, like literally courtside. We got a 5th member of the team, Katie Feeney. She's going to bring you all the environment, some interviews. I heard some food, which we're really, really excited about. But it's going to be unscripted, and it's going to be so much fun. So we will see you here. And Christine, we can't wait to see y'all. We're seeing you over here. Say hi to all the ladies over there.
Hello, ladies. You can catch Jess, Alona, and the Stud Buds on ESPN2 for courtside at the Women's Final Four, presented by AT&T for both games today. I feel like it's going to get a little bit unhinged, which we obviously get.
In the best way.
In the best way, of course, obviously. So we've mentioned the stars, ladies, of this matchup, but I want to talk a little bit about X factors when you look at both of these teams. What are you looking at today?
Yeah, we are in the day and age of the transfer portal, which can be extremely challenging, but can also be extremely rewarding. Let's start with UConn's Kaylee Heckel from USC, traveled cross-country to Stores. Her goal is to take the pressure off of AZ, and Sarah Williams from Wisconsin, learning the demands of winning. She's going to have a defensive assignment, huge for South Carolina bigs. And last but not least, Tanaya Latson, Sweet 16, 28 points and perfect 4 for 4 from 3. The chemistry that she has had instantly with her backcourt mate, Raven Johnson, has been impressive.
Yeah, the transfers are huge, but how about these talented freshmen? Blanca Quinones for UConn has been phenomenal, averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds on 62% from the field and 47% from 3 so far in the tournament. But South Carolina's got a couple of great ones ones as well. Alicia Turneby, 6'7", you saw that block shot, and Agat McKeer averaged 7 points on the season. She's averaging 15 points so far in the tournament. Watching, it was Sarah Strong last year, the freshman that we talked about, handling this stage like it's nothing, like they've been here before. I'm excited to see which freshmen continue that excellent play.
Mini vibe check. If there's one player that could be an X factor that potentially could be a player of the year, who is it in our minds?
Potentially be a player, oh, like one day?
Yes, correct.
Oh,
one,
okay.
Or 3, 2, 1.
Blanca Quinones, yeah.
I got it on that one. I think Blanca Quinones is so interesting too, because just talking to her on Wednesday, she's so poised and she doesn't carry herself like she's a freshman. When she walked in the room, I was like, is she my age? I'm a little confused. She just carries herself so well. And listening to her talk about the fact that she knew nothing about the Final Four before she got to UConn, and now that she's on this stage, she finally understands how huge this is for UConn. So I expect her to be very huge in that UConn matchup tonight. All right, coming up right here, we get another rematch on the other side of the bracket. Texas and UCLA saw each other very early in the season, but both teams feel they're a lot different right now. We will break down our second Final Four matchup. That's next.
When he breaks that dance move, that's how you know he is proud.
Our strength coach, Ash, is like, hey, they were our good luck charm. You got to keep wearing them. Leather up or don't show up.
At my restaurant in Connecticut, it's called Aura. So who on the team has the most aura? That would be me.
Best of the best, we about to show you now. Best of the best, we about to show you.
Bringing you College Game Day takes an all-star team. So when it's their time to shine, we make sure they have what they need to succeed. It's why we cater to Kai and her impeccable taste. Invest in Todd and all the light he brings. And support Miles, who always brings the hype. We champion the talent on our team, same way you champion yours. Principal, proud sponsor of College Game Day.
Can our Nissan Pathfinder do this?
Not that you would, but you could. The new V6-powered Nissan Pathfinder. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality.
We used Angie and found a pro who was so invested in installing our picture window, he looked after it like it was his own.
So when we needed to pick someone to look after our own, we knew who to trust.
Sign here. It's a will.
Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust.
At Burger King, celebrities don't rule the menu. You do.
So tell us, what do you want?
I want a peppercorn BLT Whopper.
It's stacked with bacon, Swiss, and peppercorn aioli. Try the latest in the Whopper by You series today.
When people are betting on you, every pass, every shot, it's not just the coach in your ear. It's the comment sections, the DMs, the losers who make threats and harass you. But this isn't their game to play, it's yours. The NCAA is drawing the line, educating about the dangers of sports betting, tracking online threats, and protecting the integrity of the game. See all the ways the NCAA puts student athletes first.
When you have everything you need to unlock your best workout, like free fitness training and best-in-class equipment, you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Get stronger with free fitness training at Planet Fitness. Join for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th.
You ready?
Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Big news, America! Wegovy now comes in a pill.
Ask your prescriber about Wegovy, now in a pill, and visit Wegovy.com to learn how you can start saving. Wegovy, now in a pill.
When business slowed, Hank asked Copilot in Excel how to help bring back the $1 slice.
Suddenly, Hank's is a you gotta try this place kind of thing.
All right, thank you.
Hank makes the pizza, co-pilot handles.
The 30th annual WNBA draft is Monday, April 13th on ESPN and the ESPN app. The Dallas Wings have the first pick, followed by the Lynx, Storm, Mystics, and the Sky. The expansion Toronto Timbo and Portland Fire have the 6th and 7th picks. Our coverage begins with WNBA Countdown at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific.
There's a standard that we try to live up to each and every day. If you're going to be here at Texas, it's not easy. You know, winning is really hard.
They topple top-ranked Texas. South Carolina knocks off #1 Texas.
Our goal was to win as many championships as we can. No matter, who came in. Like, here at Texas, we win. We win. Like, there's nothing else to it. And I think that's why here the standard is so high. Like, we're going to play the best defense as we can. We're going to pressure you full court. We're going to try to make you miserable. Like, that's kind of what we've been, working on and harped on since the beginning of the season.
This is unbelievable. This night belongs to Madison Booker. The road to the desert is painted burnt orange.
I see them every day. I know the investment they put in their craft, and to see it all come to fruition. And then afterwards, to be able to stand in that confetti falling from the rafters, to see them enjoying it with their moms, their dads, their aunties. It's just really, it's one of the reasons why I do what I do.
Let's take a look at our Connection That Matters presented by AT&T, and it is the Texas Standard that has brought the program back to the Final Four for the second time under their head coach, Vic Schaefer. He also made it twice as the coach of Mississippi State, and he's the first coach in NCAA tournament history to lead 2 different programs to multiple Final Fours. So Vic Schaefer, no stranger to this stage, and this Texas team took on UCLA earlier in the season. Both teams talked about how they're very different from earlier in the season. How have you seen them grow?
Well, Texas in particular is different because Texas is healthy, right? So they've gotten healthier as the season has gone on. UCLA is different for a multitude of reasons, but I want to go back to the last time that these two teams played each other because UCLA grew in the matchup. From the first half, what we saw from UCLA to the second half was completely different. First half of the game, Texas dominated, causing turnovers, getting steals, getting out in transition. UCLA, they were sagging back. UCLA was passive in the first half.
Yeah, I asked Madison Booker, does she believe her team has the best defense in the nation? She said unequivocally yes.
And where UCLA grew in this matchup was their defense stepped up in the second half. UCLA decided they wanted to be a team that gives pressure defense, not a team that plays the percentages, not a team that sags off. They wanted to dictate defensively, and that's how UCLA got their offense flowing. UCLA cut a 23-point deficit to 4 in this game against Texas. Now, UCLA didn't have enough to get the win at the end of the day, but the way UCLA changed their mindset, they actually told us that that game against Texas is how they decided as a team they want to have a pressure defense. Because you can do a couple of things defensively, right? You can play the percentages, right? So if someone's a poor three-point shooter, you can go under, you can sag off, or you can be a team that pressures no matter what. And UCLA, after facing Texas, decided they want to be a team that pressures no matter what. That's how they got back in the game. That's how they need to start the game later tonight.
Yeah, since we're talking about Texas, we have this phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? No two teams have leaned more into their strengths than Texas and UCLA. And you might ask yourself why. It's because they have specialists on their roster. Let's start with Madison Booker, the All-American, who is a mid-range assassin and monster. She single-handedly has made more mid-range shots than 345 D1 teams by herself. Why? Because this is Texas's MO. 29% of their shots come from the mid-range. Now, on the flip side, Lauren Betts is the most doubled player in the tournament, and I think second over the course of the entire year. Yet, she is averaging still 23 points per game on 68% from the field. Now, you might ask why? It's because 31% of UCLA's shots actually come from 3. She has more room to operate, which means you double, but she still beats you already in the paint. And so adding Tiana Neeskin, making sure that Kiki Rice is playing her best version of basketball. Gabrielle Hawk is having a career year. That 3-point percentage going up allows Lauren Bett's paint percentage to continue to go through the roof.
We talk about the superstars, but when we met with these players and these coaches, there were 2 players that we haven't talked about yet that were probably talked about the most in those meetings, and it was the point guards. Rory Harmon for Texas and what she's been able to do, her confidence offensively and how she's able to run the team, and Charlie Sledger-Walker, a transfer. You talked about the impact of transfers. Her ability to run the team, her leadership, her decision-making, those two things from the point guards must be on display tonight. I'm interested to see who runs their team the best on this stage.
Roy Harmon is huge for this Texas team. And I like what she said about going into this matchup, into the Final Four. She said you have to play with emotions, but not emotionally. So I'm expecting her to be very calm, cool, collected, and try to get that Texas team into the championship. And speaking of emotions, revenge could be considered one. And you would think that South Carolina could be going into their Final Four matchup with that on their mind, wanting to avenge their championship loss from last season. We'll talk about what they need to do to get it done this time around.
You're watching NCAA Women's Final Four Studio, presented by Capital One.
At Burger King, celebrities don't rule the menu. You do.
So tell us, what do you want?
I want a peppercorn BLT Whopper.
It's stacked with bacon, Swiss, and peppercorn aioli. Try the latest in the Whopper by You series today.
Surprise entry into the dunk contest this year, the Affleck dunk.
Head coach Don Staley. The Ducks set it up from way downtown.
That's a big gap to cover for a small duck.
Y'all haven't seen the way Affleck helps close the gap left by health insurance? Watch this.
Affleck does pay people money for expenses not covered by health insurance.
That's nasty.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with Affleck. Ask about it at work.
Turn the lights off, it's over.
Instacart lets you choose your bananas.
Get them just how you like.
Instacart lets you choose your bananas.
From green to extra ripe.
Use the app to control your bananas.
What a time to be alive.
I think you don't believe what a time to be alive.
Sweet, get it.
No, we go again.
Wrangler for the ride of life. Meet Ron. Ron eats, sleeps, and breathes hoops. But oh, how he can nail a software solution. You need Ron. Ron needs a retirement plan. Work with Principal so we can help you with a plan that's right for Ron. Let our expertise round out yours.
BK, ESPN is now the home of MLB.TV.
So all out-of-market games, live or on demand, plus all your favorite sports on ESPN. We need to tell the people, Carl.
We're doing it right now.
ESPN is now the home of MLB.TV. All out-of-market games, live or on demand, all in one place.
For over 100 years, the NCAA has supported student athletes competing and going to college. And now, the NCAA and its schools provide healthcare coverage, mental health services, scholarship guarantees, and more. And scholarships have grown. The NCAA is a launching point, a leg up, and a spot to land. See all the ways the NCAA puts student athletes first.
NCAA Women's Final Four Studio is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
All right, just under 13 minutes before tip-off here. Janae, you've been in a Final Four. What are the emotions going into a game like this?
It's scary. It's the biggest stage of your life, but I always reminded myself on the other side of fear is freedom. These players are going to be amazingly free tonight and play phenomenally.
Fans, welcome to Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix, Arizona for the 2026 NCAA Women's Final Four. At this time, we ask those willing and able to please rise to honor America and those who support our freedom at home and abroad with the performance of our national anthem. Tonight, presenting our nation's colors, the ASU Air Force ROTC Detachment 025 Color Guard. And now, to perform the national anthem, please welcome junior swimmer from Grand Canyon University, Ava Calmer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you,
We saw each of these teams here last year, and they're on this stage again with one goal in mind. Here they are ahead of the matchup.
UConn strengths, they got a lot of them. They play efficient basketball. They play really aggressive. They are a tough team.
South Carolina is and has always been a really talented, really competitive team.
I think they're a much better team than the team we played last year. Nothing's going to be easy. I think it's a matchup all the fans have wanted.
From the three is good.
Over to tonight, Latson and the choice upwards. Wow!
We talked about how these two programs are very familiar with being in the Final Four, but these two programs are also very familiar with winning championships. When it comes to both of these teams, Chene, what stands out to you about what they have to do today in order to go to the championship?
Do you know where I'm going to go? With the bigs.
The bigs.
I have to start with the bigs, particularly those of South Carolina, because when you think about this matchup, it's a matchup of force versus finesse. Sarah Strong is the queen of finesse. She can finesse you. She can knock down threes. She can shoot. She can dribble. She can pass. She can do it all. But South Carolina bigs, they are truly a force. Joyce Edwards averaging 20 points per game. She's playing her best version of basketball. I told you she had 9 offensive rebounds to get here to the Final Four. She has had 22 games of 20 points or more, and I think she's only 6 points away from becoming an all-time scorer, highest scorer in one season for South Carolina. And Medina Okot, get to know her name. She is 6'7". She has had 22 double-doubles on the year. She is a beast on the boards. So I always love to say styles make fights. What style will win out? Yeah. UConn forcing the bigs to come out and guard Sarah, or where the bigs actually be beasts on the boards, and it will put UConn in a conundrum trying to find matchups to slow them down.
Yeah, it'll be so interesting if UConn goes to that small lineup, which they did in the championship game last season. They moved Paige Beckers to the 4 spot. They played smaller and they dominated, but can they rebound if they go to that small lineup tonight? You know my eyes are on the guards. And coming into this matchup, if we go look at the regionals and the 2 games that South Carolina played in Sacramento and the 2 games that UConn played in Fort Worth, South Carolina's guards were way better. Like, not just better. South Carolina guards were way better in their regional. Now, I know they played different teams and the matchups were different. South Carolina guards were 13 of 15 from the three-point line in those 2 games in Fort Worth. UConn only took 13 threes. They were 2 of 13 in their game. So when you think about made threes, shot making, playmaking, South Carolina guards have more momentum than UConn's guards. But UConn has AZ Fudd.
That's it.
Yeah. And AZ Fudd, while she didn't shoot well in Fort Worth, AC Bud is 7 threes away from the single season record for made threes in UConn history. And UConn has had excellent three-point shooters in their history. So to me, which guards have more confidence? South Carolina has more momentum coming in, but my eyes are on the guard. KK and Ashlyn Shade, they have got to step up and knock down some shots. AC's got to shake off Fort Worth. She's got to knock some down too.
Yeah, I think they only combined those guards that you mentioned, the supporting cast, for only 4 points. But when I look at this matchup, it's also the coaches. You have to think about how they're going to play their lineups, and overall, how are you going to balance the momentum that they go on? Because UConn says, and Gino said it, hey, we go for some runs. We know we can sustain it, but when they fight back, how do we respond? It's not just throwing the first punch, it's the counter punch, and we're going to see it on both ends.
I do want to mention, because you talked about that stat when it comes to AZ and her three. She had 8 in Gamble Pavilion in her final game, so it's not out of the ordinary for her to get those buckets. Can we do a quick little vibe check?
Yes, sure, of course.
Because as we watch the South Carolina team get ready to run out, who do you think will have the biggest game tonight in this first matchup? All right, we talked about AZ, we talked about Sarah, we talked about Joyce, we talked about Raven. So who do you think will have the biggest game tonight?
Are we talking about individual players?
Individual players. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Sarah Strong. Yeah. So the reason why I say Sarah, though, is because she can impact the game in so many ways.
Yes.
Right? Her scoring one-on-one, her passing, her playmaking, her hands on the defensive end. I think even if she gets off to a slow start scoring, she can impact the game in so many other ways.
Yeah, and the reason I say Sarah is because in the Elite Eight, she unleashed the beast. It's not what she was doing, it's how she was doing it. Leading her squad, owning the huddles, being a captain out there, yelling at her teammates and apologizing afterward and giving them high fives and them saying, we want more. They will get more from Sarah Strong, the player of the year.
Okay, final one. How many U-bets are we getting tonight?
I hope we have a lot of made shots.
So I'm going to say 5.
All right, game 1 of the Final Four tips off in just moments. All of these teams have dreamed of this chance to see their name in lights by seizing this moment, making magic, and creating a memory that will last forever.
When the players enter and the light is cast, the focus is set to extreme. In the frenetic cameras and the anxious crowd, the clicks are calls to action. Magic. They weave, they work, and play. Moments. Feeling the glare of attention and the magnitude of the stakes. Memories weave. This is it. There is no second take. There are legacies to begin.
This is a business trip. We have a job to do, and that's to win a national championship.
All of the ingredients are inside that Texas locker room.
To pursue.
It's become the norm. South Carolina back to the Final Four.
To continue.
We've had everyone step up in different moments throughout the season. Now it's time for all that to come together.
Moments will enter the timeless space where memory and myth intertwine. So much pride, so much passion, perceived from every angle, imprinted on every mind as they perform the role of a lifetime.
These magic moments.
Now they have the chance to rise and be immortalized.
Who else has chills? Welcome to the Final Four in Phoenix, Arizona. UConn, South Carolina later on tonight. It's UCLA and Texas, the national championship game, Sunday afternoon on ABC as we welcome you courtside. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. So happy to be with you for the Final Four here on ESPN. What a matchup here with UConn and South Carolina meeting in the Final Four for the third time in the last 5 seasons. This is a South Carolina team that has a star sophomore in Joyce Edwards who's taken a huge leap this season.
Joyce Edwards has led South Carolina all season long, but she's taken it to another level here in the NCAA tournament, averaging 20 points, 10 boards over her last 4. She has terrific bounce when she gets the ball inside on the offensive end and bouncy on the defensive end as well.
exquisite footwork inside and range out to 15, 17 feet. She has led the way for South Carolina, hopes to continue to do so here today.
South Carolina, 6th consecutive Final Four, second longest streak all time. They've set a program record for points per game and an SEC record for point differential in the tournament, entering the Final Four. Speaking of great sophomores, how about UConn's Sarah Strong?
Sarah Strong has swept all the Player of the Year awards. What makes her special? It's her versatility and efficiency. She can score inside and out, can get to the bucket off the bounce, facilitate for her teammates, and she is special on the defensive end as well, averaging 3.5 steals per game.
This is a UConn team that is in its 25th Final Four. They have won 54 straight games in this season. They have beaten opponents by an average of 37.8 points per game. Time to check in with another Hall of Famer. Here is Holly Rowe.
Well, thanks, Ryan. AZ Fudd is born to be in this moment. She's literally named after a famous basketball player, Jennifer AZ. And she has had basketball in her blood this entire time. The #1 recruit overall in 2021. She was on a big stage early in her career, but it was derailed by injury, playing in just 42 of the next 112 games for the UConn Huskies. Thought about quitting, didn't know if she would ever get back to this stage, but her resilience and relentless rehab got her back to being the most outstanding player of the year last year. This year, even better, a career high in points per game, 3-point field goal percentage. She is really ascending at the perfect time, and this is an important moment for AZ. Can she do it again on this stage? She's born to do it.
Between the national title game her freshman year and then last season. Time to get to know AZ and her teammates a little bit better. Now it's time for the Capital One Meet the Players. First season, 25 Final Fours, 12 national titles, both D1 records in South Carolina, led by Dawn Staley, her 8th Final Four, a 3-time national champion. Time to meet Dawn's team. It's time for the Capital One Meet the Players.
Hello, it's me. Hello.
This is my team, the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Hello.
Raven, Black Magic, Johnson. You see me.
It be me looking like a snack, bon appetit, yeah.
Tessa Johnson. Who can guard Tessa? Tanaya Latson. If you in trouble, call Agent Zero. Joyce Edwards. Powerpuff is in her 2 puffs. Medina Ocott. Big Mama. Donnie. Coach Staley. Gucci Louis Prada. She really is the Dunn daughter.
Hello, it's me. Hello, it's me. It's that,
Here we go, South Carolina and UConn, the Final Four. Tips next from Phoenix on ESPN.
Taxes was feeling overwhelmed. Now Taxes is coming in clutch with a TurboTax expert who can do your taxes in person or on your phone. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax.
When you have everything you need to unlock your best workout, like free fitness training and best-in-class equipment, you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Get stronger with free fitness training at Planet Fitness. Join for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th.
You ready?
Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
LyLy helps millions spend smarter and save more for the things that matter most to them. That's why we're the bank that's your ally.
You know when you're locked in, focused and fearless. Your vision narrows. Did you see that moment? From beyond the logo! All of it right here. Lock in. The WNBA draft on ESPN.
Rachel gets to quit. Do I make myself clear? Rachel gets to quit. Do I make myself clear?
Not just anyone can fight for everyone.
Where?
Marines are made for this.
Because there are good times. And there are bath times. Give more love than humanly possible when you feed a Hill's scientifically proven formula. Because you're only human, there's Hill's.
Underwear for folks who work their butts off.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. You are watching the Final Four presented by AT&T. About ready to tip here at Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix, Arizona. South Carolina and UConn strong off to an outstanding start.
Already showing us why she's the National Player of the Year. Versatility, efficiency from the perimeter, from the mid-range, and of course can get to the rim.
Nothing beats March. Or 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card.
Someone say 3?
Caitlin, she lives for the 3s.
From way down the counter.
Wow. Oh, no cheese?
3 scoops? She scores.
Is that pistachio? Uh-oh, she's here. Oh!
Splash.
Y'all see it? Oh! That's it.
Off the glass.
My face is not a backboard.
We're almost back. Supposed to be at Pat's for tip-off.
You okay, OG? I like to see you guys hike a mountain at my age.
We're almost there. Howdy, fellas. Hey, Ted.
I got the game.
You got the game. Now, where's the rest of the team?
I get them. Starks, you still on that hike? Alvarado's here.
I brought dip. Homemade. Wish we had some snacks. I know. And I found these berries.
Oh, very poisonous. Yeah.
When the connection matters, it has to be AT&T.
Here's another tip from the Shack Yard. How to increase your hang time.
These lights really give it that game night feel.
Totally.
Nice ladder.
How we're made determines how far we go. So for those who are strong, those who are powerful, those who aren't afraid to push their limits, the world of greater awaits. Greater journeys, greater experiences, greater memories. The first ever Kia Telluride Turbo Hybrid is ready.
The Whopper has never tasted better. Over a quarter pound of flame-grilled beef, crisp produce, a perfectly toasted bun, every detail stacked just right. Whether it's been weeks or years, try the Whopper again, just $3.99 on Wednesdays.
Introducing Gatorade Lower Sugar. No artificial colors, no artificial flavors, no artificial sweeteners, and 75% less sugar. Gatorade Lower Sugar. Hydrates better than water.
And a blue moon.
Oh, that is a delicious looking orange slice.
You know, that's actually my son's slice. Go ahead, you can take a bite.
No! Just kidding.
That was a really good one.
The larger one is the dad.
Nothing outshines a blue moon.
A lot has happened for UConn since Gino Auriemma took the program to their first Final Four back in 1991. Michael Jordan hadn't even won his first NBA championship yet. We know he ended up with 6 of those. Hey, we know that, young woman. And the other one's in the building, too. First WNBA game in June of 97. LeBron played his first game in October of 03. How about Sarah Strong? She was born in February of 06. The Warriors won 73 games. In 2016, Caitlin Clark set the Division I scoring record in the spring of 24. And now UConn in an unprecedented 25th Final Four. Let's send things over to Holly Rowe.
Well, Gino Auriemma told me on his arrival tonight that in the 35 years since that first one in 91, they've been to 25 Final Fours, as you just mentioned, and he said it kind of reminds me of the B.B. King song.
Opportunity, and McKeer does what she does.
You know, before Tatum was Tatum, I actually scouted him at a Dick's just like this.
Isn't that Tatum by the Tatums?
Yep, still putting the work in.
Can we get some more Tatums in here? Never have enough Tatums.
You know what I see, Diana? I see the future and the present under the same roof. We got Sabrina down there, just giving back to the community.
You seeing all this talent?
Yep.
You guys want to help?
We're good. What's next? Stefan Castle just being unfair to the next Stefan Castle? Unfair, Stefan. I live for that type of action. This is the best of the best. It's the pinnacle of sport. I love it here.
Smile so big that your eyes can go back in your face. Laugh so loud you can hear it from outer space. I really wanna talk to you. I really wanna know you. I really wanna talk to you. I really wanna. Really wanna talk to you. I really wanna.
Guys, no feet on the court.
I'm sorry, I thought these were the extra legroom seats.
No.
I had more legroom on the flight here.
Can't wait to get back on that plane.
Dove Clinical Plus Care is for the girls that blow dry sweat.